Welcome to our weekly actual play. That just threw me off so much.
I heard that.
Do you know why that threw me off? Because I thought I didn't mute the stream on my browser. I thought it was actually myself. But anyway, welcome to Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D show set in our homebrew world of Aradun. I'm going to bring Shannon on in a second to talk about our partners, but our music is licensed through Musicbed.com, and our Ambience occasionally is used through Syrinscape as well as TabletopAudio. Shannon, tell me about life.
Like, you asked me this last week too, Sean. That's a big fucking question, man. I can't answer that. You know what I can answer though?
What?
Is our partners. Also, I thought you weren't going to talk about the music, and I was about to give you so much shit for that.
I know, I kind of did that on purpose to see if it would throw you off.
Oh, it did. But you know what? I've learned with you people to not react because
Really?
What do you mean, you people?
yeah, you people.
Bunch of dumbasses.
Whom I love
Myself
so
included.
very dearly.
Who do we partner with?
I can't watch the screen right now. We
Oh,
are
I'm not
partners.
sorry. I thought you were going to react anymore.
Yeah, Shannon.
Starting
Starting now.
Yeah, starting now. I hadn't started yet. There was a long build up to yes. Okay, anyway, starting with Arcane Spectacles. Introducing Arcane Spectacles. If you haven't already been introduced to them, they're fabulous. They are your source for your personalized D&D themed Christmas ornaments and top-notch tabletop RPG accessories. Here are some examples of some of their ornaments. You can personalize them with whatever you'd like. They're so amazing, and I love keeping them up in my streaming station when they are not adorning my Christmas tree during the holidays. Where's my spot? There it is. With the ability to personalize your ornaments. They're not your their ornaments. Hold on, I gotta change that before I fuck that up again. Their ornaments.
Who's
With
ornaments?
the ability to with the ability to personalize this. Shut up. With the ability to personalize their ornaments with your D&D party's names, you'll have a unique and memorable keepsake. They also offer dice, mugs, wood spell trackers, wood dice belts, and more. Visit them at arcanespectacles.com. Next, we have Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a best-selling, Emmy-nominated TTRPG publisher building new and exciting settings for the cipher system of every genre that you can imagine. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world, including lore, species, descriptors, foci, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all of the rules that you need to play. Their current focus and Kickstarter success is Harrow the Blighted Plain, a crystal punk fantasy setting filled with fungal oases, massive sand seas, and long-buried magitech. For as little as $3, you can join their Patreon and help shape Harrow in each of the worlds that they create. Next, we have Edward Yorke. Eddie is our character artist. You saw on our waiting screen all of our current art for this campaign. You'll also see it on our character cards as they scroll. He is an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com. Last but not least, 1985 Games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for D&D and other tabletop role-playing games. Sean here uses their NPC cards, and they are awesome. Sean, you want to tell us a little bit about the NPC cards that you use?
They're
so
great.
Beautifully.
They have personalities, quirks, flaws, goals, and secrets, as well as a unique name and a unique art for every single character.
I thought you were going to leave it at that they're great, and I was about to come through this computer.
Well, you shouldn't assume.
Well, I did. So there we
And
go.
that made an ass out of you and me.
Yep. Good one.
Who's next?
I'm not done with this one yet.
Continue.
If you would like to purchase any of 1985's amazing accessories, use the code ParadiceProd for 10% off your entire order. And that was our last partner that I had. If you have not yet joined us on Discord, come join us on Discord. We've got recaps that Sean writes for us every week. They are all up to date now. Thank you, Sean. We also post the VODs of our past episodes, which are not up to date. That's my bad. I'll get to it. And join us in not only on Discord and Twitch, but also Twitter, YouTube, Discord. I didn't mean to say Discord, Instagram, and TikTok.
Good job, Shannon. Anything else?
Thanks. You're doing great.
Anything about life
great
yet?
Day. Life, it's a beautiful mess.
There you go. Alrighty. Let's bring our friends in.
Yes.
For our recap.
These people that I play with every week, that we play
there
with
they
every
are.
week.
Who you do not find funny whatsoever.
Not in the slightest.
So mean. Cruelest. Okay.
Septimus is going to be unnaturally mean to Sass this campaign. I can't explain why, but
oh no,
something has just overcome him.
We were getting along so well.
Well, you should have laughed at Mike's jokes. Everyone knows that's how D&D works.
Yep.
All right, let's get into our recap. Let's shift the tone here a little bit musically. Our Bardly DJ. The last few times we met, because I wrote the recap for 20 and 21 in the same one, because I didn't write a recap last week.
Hey, that was real smart. Yeah,
I figured why put a lot of extra work on myself.
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. All right. The last few times we met, our brave adventurers successfully devastated the bandits by flooding their hideout with an elemental water explosive. But as the party fled and returned to the town, they realized their rescue operations to retrieve Yorke and the damage to the bandits might spur retaliation. Furthermore, the hamlet of Billowgrass might suffer collateral damage due to their actions. The party debated their responsibility in the matter, after discussing this all with the spiritual leader of Billowgrass, August the Automancer. Ultimately, they decided to stay so long as Septimus could come up with a sufficient plan to protect the villagers, or the village. So the next morning, they gathered to sort out their plan with the villagers. All those unable to fight would hide in the Esperado forest, while the party lured the bandits through the main thoroughfare, where traps and other impediments waited for them. Sass and archers would fire from the rooftops and hill, while Fearon and Septimus acted as bait in the streets. Yorke and Bruce would attack from concealed locations to thin their numbers. The villagers liked the plan, but it was with the assistance of Yorke's silver tongue that they began to believe in not only themselves, but Septimus's leadership in this moment. In the process, they introduced them to Sal, Septimus's machine companion he's had quite a while. For a long time, his only companion and friend. The country folk were skeptical, given their distrust of Machina, but Yorke spun a tale. The automaton contained elemental spirit, just like each townsfolk held within them, gifted by the Automancer. In the end, the people of Billowgrass gladly got behind the plan to protect their home, given in earnest it was the only plan they really had, besides relying on themselves. They offered up resources as needed, and some even offered to fight. The traps were laid, and the people in their positions. Now the party just waited for the inevitable, and as that sun set, the bandits came with torches. Septimus and Fearon tried to say the others fled, and it was only them. And they told the bandits to leave the village alone. The Dragonborn captain of the bandits threatened them and told them to surrender and turn their friends in. As they refused to yield, Fearon engaged, and the ambush ensued. The clever use of defenses, including a bombarded flask of essence of ether, weakened the bandits significantly as the party fought. Furthermore, Fearon's strategic use of the darkness spell further disadvantaged them. The party took many of the bandits alive, but some were killed, and some fled. The skirmish in the streets was tough, In the end, the captain of the bandits pierced Sal through the chest with her great sword. The automaton companion of Septimus's eyes went dim. In that same moment, Bruce cast a spell to capture the wild magic bandit Reardon in the basement of the Windy Mercado. Jacquette took out more bandits stealthily. Sass mercilessly killed others. And the remaining bandits fled. Ian captured the captain. Now the parties capture these bandits as the sun completely sets. The street is lit only by the waning fires, the bandit torches on the old cobblestone, and dim oil lanterns. It grows darker and darker, despite this victory. So, you are all in the streets. Well, most of you are in the streets. Bruce is still inside the Windy Mercato. Oopsie. Recap over the battle cam. So, right now, as Theron knocks the captain unconscious, the streets grow extremely quiet. A few last arrows skid across the dirt and stone as the archers realize that you have, as far as they can tell, completed the fight and beat back the bandits, as two of them go running off into the darkness of the night. The torches kind of flicker on the ground. The street's very dark now as the sun rapidly descended over the horizon. Sass, you look down and see many unconscious bandits, as well as a few with eldritch blast-sized holes in their chest. Fear, and you look down at the Dragonborn, whose blood is trickling from her lips as you had knocked her unconscious. Jacquette, you are still hidden in the barracks. I can show yourself when you wish. Bruce, you can hear below you some scuffling as someone is moving about in your little trap. But you are in the first floor, looking out the side window. You can, from your perspective, you can see everyone except for Sass on the roof and Jacquette, who's hidden from you, down the street. Basically, you could just barely see everyone, which is how you got the spell off. Septimus, you look and see the mangled parts next to the Dragonborn of Sal, who has had his chest piece ripped open by the long sword.
Standing there in shock for a moment, but then piercing through the silence, Septimus is going to yell out, "Stop!" Oh! As his hammer will just erupt in Searing Smite. And he's going to just start charging towards the Dragonborn in anger.
I imagine Fearn was like going to he was standing over this Dragonborn after taking it out and just like disarming it, like not expecting this scream from Septimus.
Yeah, Fearn, it's literally right as you kicked the greatsword out of her hands so that she couldn't wake up and grab it. You hear this scream, and you're almost like you're about to lift her up to like prop her against the fence or something, start looking through her belongings. You hear this and hear the footsteps hitting against the dirt earth as Septimus is charging. You at first, if you didn't know the situation, you'd think he was charging at you, but you can tell he's charging right for the Dragonborn beneath your feet.
Fearn is going to stand in the way, but kind of nonchalantly. Like, he doesn't look like he's really putting up too much of an issue, and he just looks down at the weapon that is now glowing with this sacred light and saying, "I thought you didn't want me to kill him."
Septimus just kind of Septimus gets right up to like where she is lying on the ground, just staring directly at the Dragonborn. He hears what Fearn has said, as he kind of just still clutches his hammer there, kind of restrained because he doesn't want to, but like everything's overtaken him because Sal is everything to him, and at this moment is afraid that Sal is gone. But he'll respond to what Fearon said.
So these two things I'll say are happening at the same time. As Septimus is saying this to Fearon is when Jacques is doing what he's doing. So we'll get Septimus's response and then Jacques' action.
She took him from me. I have nothing. As you could say what you were going to do, Jacques.
Yeah, so Jacques, seeing this and seeing the rage, and everything, he kind of slips out and runs up, holstering his crossbow, and goes, hey, buddy, it's okay, come on. Just like a downed person, a downed machine can get back up, right? Where's Bruce? Come on, use a little magic. You've got to have something in you that can help him. What about a health potion? Do those work? I don't know. This isn't really my forte.
Can I see the bandits that are running away?
I mean, you'd have at least. I'd say they wouldn't be able to get away without you getting at least one more pot shot off. Especially with your devil sight, you can still see them in the dark.
That's exactly what I want to do.
So you want to shoot two? You want to shoot 1-1? There's two of them.
Yeah, 1-1.
Okay, give me attack rolls. So, Fearon, you're standing between, like half between Septimus and the Dragonborn on the ground. As I imagine, Septimus is kind of like starting to get a little ramped up. He still has this burning hammer. Jacques, you've run up like this. Bruce, you also see Septimus kind of running out there with that hammer ablaze. What do you want to do?
Did I hear him say Sal?
Yes, you definitely would from your vantage point.
So Bruce would just be like, oh, no. And Bruce is torn because he knows he's got a threat in the basement, but also needs to check on Sal, or feels the need to see the situation that's happening outside. So Bruce is probably gonna exit the building and just take off his goggles and try his best to see where all the blurs are, and to see if there are too many threats outside, if he should be outside, is it taken care of?
I'll say Bruce, from what you can see through the blurs, it's so dark out that what you see is the small bit of fire in that central courtyard from the oil lanterns and the fire on the ground from the torches. That is all getting very dark. So it's actually incredibly hard for Bruce to see, but you can see the individuals there, and probably even brighter than the torches is Septimus's hammer, which is all kind of creating this weird mosaic of lights and voices that you would see in your blurred vision.
Can I make the assessment that it's probably okay? And
yeah, I'd say you're not hearing, the only voices you're hearing are your friends. Sass, what were those attacks?
First one was a 16, and the second one was a 26.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage for both of those.
Okay. First one is 11 points of Eldritch Blast damage, and second one's 13.
Okay, so in the commotion here, as Bruce, you've run outside and you're seeing all these lights. You hear the voice of your friends. Fearon, you're just kind of standing stalwart, waiting for what to do next based on your friends' reactions. Jacques, you're trying to calm Septimus down. Septimus, you're just seeing red in the mangled body of Fearon. Is when you all just hear and just see two green blasts shoot from the rooftop up, and then you just see. As you can see, about 150 feet or so, or 120 feet or so away, those two bandits who fled are dead on the ground.
Nice one.
Hey, what the hell? I thought we said no more killing.
I believe the idea was not to kill the leaders. Like this one here.
Fearon looks to you, Septimus, as he says, like this one here.
Yeah.
What's your reaction?
Why don't we just put the hammer down and talk this out?
Still holding the hammer up. I just breathing heavily, thinking about it. But then with everybody's hearing what Fearn's saying and looking to the hammer for a split second after the distraction of the Eldritch Blast going off, he'll notice that the light coming off the hammer is like nearly identical to that of what was in Sal's body, what was emitting from him. And so he'll start to calm down, slowly drop the hammer, and then just fall to his knees and kind of sorrow next to Sal, also dropping the hammer. And kind of just placing his hands like over him and his head down as he just murmurs some like whispers to himself. Kind of like in a praying manner.
Can I slide down off the rooftop to join them?
Carefully, yes.
Yeah, seeing that he's, lost his, bloodlust, fear, and turns his back and immediately just goes back to looting.
Oh, no. What happened here? What? Oh, Jesus.
I've got an arm here. Can we put him back together?
All right, just look for all of Sal's body parts, limbs, any sort of piece, little... Jacquette, move!
What to do? He's fine. Jacquette gestures to the just hole in his chest that our DM clearly illustrated to us that there are no missing limbs. It was just a sword through the chest. And Jacquette goes, "Can't you just, the thing you used to do with the potions? Slap a piece of metal over his chest and just seal it shut, right?
It doesn't work.
Oh, I'm sorry. This was a bandit arm. I thought it was his.
Oh. All right, okay. Sorry, I can't see
It's
very
like
well.
the reverse of Septimus. Machine body with a human third arm.
As they're squabbling a bit, and Sass, as you land to the ground and see both Septimus and Bruce somewhat in a panic, or at least sorrowful and grieving over the body of Sal as they're repairing it, and you can see Fearn making these comments, and Jacquette being Jacquette. Septimus and Sass and Bruce, three of you hear a voice in your head. Not the same words, but the same voice. The first person is Septimus. Well, as underneath this voice, you hear the bickering between your friends. Some of them talking about Sal in a way that is probably not malicious, but maybe in this moment sounds malicious, as they're talking about him like a piece of junk needing to be repaired. There's a voice in your head that says, in a very deep, deep voice, "He saved your life. And they look at him like a piece of rock to be thrown into the ocean." Sass, you hear in your head, "They were weak. Couldn't stand against you. You are powerful." Bruce, you hear in your head, "Oh, what a coward. Your closest friend's greatest companion lays in wreckage on the ground. All because you're a coward." Jacquette, you hear in your head, "I see the body in the well. Do you?" You all hear that presence in your head for a moment. Almost like I feel like almost everyone would stop for a second, except for you, Fear, who does not get the voice in your head.
I'm like, all right.
He's kind of all.
Right?
I imagine
Everybody
you all
got really quiet.
I imagine as Fearn is like holding that great sword right now, testing the weight on it.
I'm like swinging it around like a baseball bat, like nice.
I can fix this.
Yeah, you better fix it. Someone better fix it. Sal's our best party member.
All right. Also, there's a.
No offense, he says to.
There's a. I trapped a man in the basement of the Witty Mercado. Also.
I'm powerful.
What?
Good to hear.
Powerful.
And apparently over killing.
I'm powerful.
All right, Miss Powerful,
Yep, we
let's
heard
go
you.
handle this basement guy. As I take my newfound sword and I start walking towards the building.
Right. I follow him.
Oh, okay. So repeat that. What the action you're doing there? Because I was doing something.
He's going to the basement,
And you
going
are as
with
well.
him.
Okay. Bruce and Septimus.
Bruce is gonna try his best to console Septimus and assess the damage on Sal. And
As soon as Bruce gets close, and like maybe like when he touches Sal out of curiosity, Septimus will like kind of rise his head. It's snapping like, "Don't touch him!
Oh.
He's mine! Leave me alone! Leave me alone! I will fix him!"
all right.
As I go
Bruce
back down and just kind of like doing his thing on him.
With that shout from Septimus, all the torches go out on the ground. It's very dark.
Bruce is gonna put his goggles on and kind of just look for Jacquet.
Who turned out the lights?
Bruce, give me a perception check. For those of you still in the courtyard at Fearn and Sass, as you're walking down up the road towards where you can go inside, go into the basement, it is, other than for you, Sass, Fearn, you have dark vision, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it is incredibly dark. And Sass, you know it's dark because your vision, although you can see everything, has that spectral aspect to it. You know you're in ostensibly complete darkness. You all look up. Anyone who looks up can see there's no stars in the sky. There's no moon. There's nothing in the alleyways but darkness.
I rolled a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Or 23.
Bruce, you see from the you looking around, you can see behind Jacquet on the other side of the street, where the the oil lanterns don't reach. There is a spectral form coming up behind him.
Bruce is immediately gonna run to Jacquet and be like, "Jacquet, behind you!"
Jacquet spins, pulling out his hand crossbow, looking. What? Where? What is it? Another bandit?
No,
Roll initiative.
Oh,
Everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Okay. I can't find initiative.
$20 to $25.
Sorry, I. This is. Mine. Sorry.
No problem. 15 to 19.
19.
15.
10 to 14.
13.
10.
11.
Jacques, what you said 11, right?
Aye.
Okay. So everyone except for Bruce and Jacques have the surprise condition this first round.
Ooh.
So
Ouch.
Bruce and Jacques, you turn and look. Jacques, you immediately recognize once it's been pointed out to you by Bruce. And you turn around, and when Bruce is saying all this, at first you're like, there's nothing there, Bruce. And then Bruce is saying, you know, there's a specter, there's a shade, there's something. And you would immediately recognize a similar creature to what was protecting the bandit hideout there, one of these shadow entities that look like sort of fractured humanoid shapes that move amongst the darkness. And it is going to go for an attack on you, Jacques.
Real quick, I meant to ask this last session. I totally forgot about
Yes.
it. The guy that captured me, the bounty hunter.
Yes.
Did we see him at all?
You did not. You did not see him at all.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. That is a 18 to hit.
Me? Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be 7 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And your strength score is reduced by 3.
Okay.
As you feel the creature grab onto you and almost wrap itself around you like a cloak and just start to drain your life force out of you. Next one.
-3. Okay.
Okay. Fearn. Is a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit unless I use shield.
You're surprised
Which-
you don't get a reaction.
Surprised, yeah.
Okay then.
I just looked it up.
Fearn, you're going to take 9 points of necrotic damage.
Is it ranged or melee?
It's melee.
Okay, he takes 10 cold damage from Armor of Agathis.
Excellent. Your strength score is reduced by 4.
Whoa.
Yikes.
As the creature leapt down from the rooftops of the Windy Mercado onto you to attack you. It is still alive, but it is, you can see that cold really like splintered through it and fractured it thoroughly. It is struggling to hold on to you in this draining power. Okay. For the shadow, the two shadows have struck. Bruce, in the initiative order of the surprise round, you are up next. Jacques, you are up after him in the surprise round.
So there's 2 shadows?
There are 2.
Oh boy.
Okay, Bruce, you are up. Jacquet, you're on deck.
All right, so Bruce is gonna just freak out and just move, and he's gonna pull on Jacquet's tail. So in his saying that, I'm gonna use a bonus action feature, Draconic Cry. So all enemies within 10 feet of me get advantage against enemies that could hear you. And in addition to that, Bruce is gonna like turn his heel, and go wide-eyed. You can't see anything, but I'm casting Hold Person on the shade.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is gonna be Bruce's first
attempt. So is this Hold Person? What does that say that it affects? So I'm just trying to.
A humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw.
Shade is not a humanoid.
Okay, so I'm just gonna count that that spell as a fizzle.
Yeah. As you go to, in a panic, cast this, you just feel the magic doesn't come. Basically, it's like you started doing. It's like you are about to sneeze and then you don't.
Yes.
As you can hear the shade just sort of around Jacquet, whose hairs are all standing up. Okay. Anything else, Bruce? Otherwise, it's Jacquet's turn.
That's it.
Jacquet, you're up.
Almost like his teeth chattering from the cold of the death. He goes, "Hey, it's damn bounty hunter! Find him, Bruce! Tell me where he is, and I'll hunt him down and kill him myself." As he's going to draw his rapier and strike with advantage.
Excellent.
Against this
yes, that one is
bro.
affected by the cry.
17 to hit.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right, that's going to be a total of 13 non-magical piercing damage.
Okay. You strike and you see your rapier does sort of like get consumed into the darkness that is this form. As this is, like in our minds, we might think of this as just like two people 5 feet apart. No, it's like Jacquet and the Shade are embroiled in a fight where it's wrapping around him actively as he's slicing and poking and prodding. And each time you do, you find that your attacks don't deal quite as much damage as you would like them to. But they do deal damage. You said 13 was the total?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The creature is still alive, but much like the one that got blasted by the cold of the armor of Agathis, it is not looking great as it unforms for a second and has to pull itself back together. As you can almost see, like it is like pushing away from any source of light around. There only being 2 around you right now. Okay, that is the end of the first round. Those of you who have the surprise condition no longer have the surprise condition. So we're going to go to the top of the order, which is Septimus, with the shadows on deck. One thing, actually, before we get to Septimus's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Septimus, you will hear in your head again at the end of that round. Are you willing to give everything away for these companions of yours? Are you willing to lose everything you've worked for since your family died? And it's your turn, Septimus. There's no mechanical effect to these whispers.
Yep. Septimus is going to stand up. And I think knowing somewhat that his enemies are tied to the person who struck down Sal. It's like, I won't allow your mind games to trick me! As he will. So I see 2 shades. One is right next to me because it went for Fearing, right?
So given that you are a human, you can only see the one that is fighting against Jacquet right now. You hear the fight happening up the street. When I say that, like, basically, to give you all context,
Okay.
Where those lights are giving off a certain amount of light, and that is basically, if you don't have dark vision, the only space you can see in. So for you, Septimus, being the one without dark vision, you basically can see that central courtyard. You can't really see up the streets. Jacquet.
Who lit those torches?
They were already lit.
Oil lamps. Okay, cool. Never mind.
Yeah, they were already lit because by the time the bands got here, the sun was already setting.
Well, regardless, Septimus is going to pick up his hammer and turn to the one he can say, cast Searing Smite.
Excellent.
Again. And go for an attack on it.
Go for it. Want to get flanking with? Do you want to get flanking?
Do I get advantage?
No, you get +1 to your attack.
Wait, no.
Who's if he's attacking
from Bruce's thing?
Bruce.
Oh yeah, you get advantage. Yeah, you don't even. Yeah, you get advantage, but you could also get a +1 by moving up, flanking with.
Thank you, Bruce.
With Jacquet.
Then sure, yes. 21 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
All right. 6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Plus. Oh my god, what are these rolls? 1 fire damage.
Okay.
And on its turn, it needs to survive a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Or it gets burned.
You watch as you go and you strike it with this righteous hammer of yours. You can see, perhaps it's the toxic whispers in your mind. Perhaps it's the doubt in your faith. Perhaps it's Sal's weakening soul. But your attack does not deal as much damage as you hoped it would on both fire and the bludgeoning. Though granted, 1 point can't be halved, so it still took 1 point to fire damage.
That's an understatement of didn't do as much as I wanted it to.
But it is close to death. It is looking really rough. Anything else, Septimus?
No.
Okay. Alrighty. So, it is the Shadow's turn. We're gonna have the one against Fearin and Sass attack first. It no longer has advantage. Yeah. The one fighting you, Fearin, misses as it tries to wrap itself around you again, but you're able to kind of push it away and brandish your weapon, keeping it from sapping your energy again. The other one is going to go for Jacquet again.
No, before it does that, roll Constitution saving
throw.
Oh,
good call.
It's probably going to beat it, though.
I don't think that's going to beat it with a 4.
Oh, hell no. Takes another 1d6 fire damage.
Or 1d6?
Yep, 1d6. 1d6 fire damage.
Takes C damage.
Do I roll or do you roll?
You roll. You go ahead and roll. It's your damage.
Come on. 4.
As despite the resilience towards your holy fire, the wreathing flames did stay wrapped around you. You can see them burst up again before fading into the shadows as it does take that damage.
Yeah.
Again, resisting the light, the holy light of this.
Piece of shit.
Okay. Does that keep happening, or is it just the one time?
It keeps happening until it succeeds.
Oh hell yeah, I like that. All right, Jacquette. I don't think a 13 is going to hit. All right, as you're embroiled with this creature, both the fire wreathing around it. This Septimus, what is the fire like? What color is the fire of Sal's fury, Sal's soul, of your holy magic?
Periwinkle blue.
Periwinkle blue. Fires wreathe it and then close down on it. It misses its attack on you and is not able to sap more energy this round. Bruce, you are up. Sass, you're on deck. Then Jacquette, Fiern.
All right. Having Bruce is like semi-crying in the situation. He's gonna look. And he's going to just do his best to see if he can find this this guy, if he does exist. Looking for if there's any sort of shades elsewhere too. Yeah, I guess he's just gonna kind of run in a direction, knowing where his traps are, and try to avoid them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And what I will do, I don't know if you'll take this too. I might grab a rock, and I'm gonna magically tinker it for a light source.
Excellent. I'll allow that
as an action, and then for a bonus action, I will just try to observe. If that's all right, does that count?
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
What is the light radius on the?
It's very small. I think it's just a 5 foot. 5 foot bright, and then 5 additional dim foot. 5 foot.
Yeah. So you would absolutely see the shade that is attacking Jacquette at this moment reacts violently to this in displeasure. It doesn't take damage or anything, but it absolutely shrieks as this. It's not a lot of light, but it's much more that's on it right now. So you see it does react negatively towards this magic fire.
If that's the case, can I, like, I don't know, like Frodo?
If you want, you can get closer to it and see if it causes anything to happen, like Frodo, because you have movement. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Still, like, somewhat behind Jacquette, but, like,
I'll allow you to literally get right behind Jacquette as he's kind of wrestling with this thing and hold up the little magical lights that is kind of this really tiny beacon in kind of the encroaching shadow around this entire town, but is still kind of exposing the shade. And Jacquette, you can now see like this sort of like really like frightening face on this creature that looks like someone is holding a black curtain taut to a human skull. As it is like kind of biting towards you, and you can see these skeletal hands now silhouetted by this light. But the creature does seem to be kind of like cowers back at this light and is no longer snapping at you. And for a moment, you feel as though maybe you might have a bit of an advantage against this creature while it is in this light. But Bruce, I'll say that's all you can do.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Sass, you're up. You see right in front of you is Fiern, and you can see the shadow, and you see it perfectly because of your double sight. You can see that skull kind of held taut by this black cloth, the skeletal arms that are grabbing at Fiern, clawing at him, biting at him. And you can also look back and see the same one engaged with Jacquette and the other boys.
Okay. Mechanical question. Do I need to back up and to not get disadvantage on my Eldritch Blast since it's ranged, or because I'm 10 feet away from it?
You're 10 feet, so it's only when you're 5 feet from an enemy that you'll have disadvantage on a ranged attack.
All right. So I'll, just for flavor, I'll take a step to my left, and as I'm stepping, I'm reaching one hand out to the shade closest to us, and the other one out to the shade behind me, and I just say, I am powerful, and pew pew, one blast at each of them.
Go for it.
The first one, ugh, it's a natural 1, so I think that's gonna miss. That was for the one in front of Fearn.
Yeah, that'll miss.
And then the second one is a 24.
That'll hit.
Okay. That's gonna be 10 points of force damage to the one by Jacquet.
Okay, that one gets obliterated.
Excellent.
And you would see, as it dies, you first of all, Jacquet and Bruce, this thing is like fearing the light as this eldritch blast shoots it in the chest, and it kind of fractures into not really more like a dust more so than a mist that kind of falls to the ground.
Are my tentacles still up?
How long do they last?
A minute.
I would say, let's see, because you had them up the whole fight before, and then you guys were kind of in a bit of a conversation moment there. I would say you have, say, 2 more rounds of your tentacle is up.
All right. So I'm gonna use my bonus action to move my closest tentacle to this to the final shade, and I can when I move it, I can.
Or how far can you move it?
Up to 30 feet.
Okay, then you have just enough space to get to the.
Do you
And I
like to
can-
move it? Move it.
And I and I have to. I can repeat the attack when I move it.
Go for it.
It's gonna be an 18 to hit,
That'll hit.
and that's gonna be 6 points of cold damage.
Okay, you watch as that cold, as the tentacle wraps around the shade. You can see it almost like the shade slips completely out of the tentacle, as the cold only leaves behind a trace, and it is resistant to the cold damage.
Damn it! All right, that's all I can do.
Okay. All right, Jacquet, you are up. And then Fearon's on deck. Jacquet, you see this. You see the shade dissipate into ash in front of you onto the ground. You can look over, and with your with dark vision, you can definitely see the shape of the shade fighting Fearon right now.
Right, but Fearn and Sass are over there.
Correct.
So,
Yeah, so if you wanted to go
Jacquet
looking
is going
for something
to...
else, whatever you want.
Yeah. So I know where this one appeared from. The other one appeared from the rooftop, you said?
Yes, the other one dropped down onto Fearon from the rooftop.
All right. But there's still that glowing rock, right? So I'm gonna.
Yes.
From-
Bruce has the glowing
Yeah.
rock. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Jacquet's gonna grab that from him and says, "Give it here, Malfoy, or I'll knock you off your broom." and everyone's like, "What? Are you referencing something?" Jacquet's gonna nab that, and holding it up, he's gonna start with feline agility, because I assume I spent a round not moving.
Correct.
Is going to basically run a 60-foot circuit around this area. First, he's gonna head towards where the first specter came from.
Okay.
And then he's going to head, I assume, south. So maybe 20 feet.
So the cardinal directions are turned here a little bit. The left is north. The right is south.
Okay. So then he's gonna run north. We'll say.
We can also just go by the cardinal directions of the map.
Yeah. No. So yeah. So he'll go north 30 feet and then turn left and go west 30 feet. And the whole time he's looking for the bounty hunter specifically. That's who he thinks is behind this.
Give me a perception check. We'll just use the same perception check for both areas you're looking in.
11.
11? Okay. What's your total movement? This
60 feet when I use feline agility. Oh no, sorry. So I'm not coming back. I run.
You go further. Oh, I see. I see now.
So I'm trying to like just do a lap around this area to try to cover ground.
Okay. I see. Okay. We're moving around the whole area. Like I just put you there for now because there's not map next to the building there, but you can get behind the blacksmith if you want to go map north from there.
No, so which way did the bandits originally come from? The west, right?
Yes.
Right, so 30 feet north and then 30 feet west.
Okay, other way.
So I should be at the bottom of the map.
Yep, and I also...
And that's not me, but that's okay. So yeah, down in that tree.
Yep. Okay, cool. As you're running through that area, you do not see any sign of the bounty hunter.
All right, so at the end of his trek, Jacques is just gonna shout out, "I don't see him anywhere over here. Keep looking."
Okay. That brings us to Thearn. It's your turn. There is still a shade in front of you.
Okay. Now that Crookshanks has run away, it's time for me to swing and beat this thing.
What'd you call me?
Nothing. Okay, I'm gonna swing with my brand new greatsword. I don't know if it has any abilities. I'm assuming I'm not attuned, so I probably can't make him do stuff, but here I go. 10 to hit.
10 to hit? That will not hit.
Alright, let's try again. Oh, did I have advantage? I had advantage, right?
No, not in this one. There's only the other one that was within the Draconic Cry.
Okay. Do I have flanking?
No.
Okay. I got a 19 on the second one.
That will hit.
Yeah, it turns into a 25.
Yeah, no, that's gonna hit. That's gonna hit.
Any modifiers to the damage, Sean?
Not on this weapon.
Okay.
This is basically just a great sword for you right now.
Fair. I got a 12 damage slashing.
Even with the resistance that will do it, you come forward and cleave the shadow into, and again, you see it dissipates into this black sand that lays in the dirt and rock at your feet right now.
Yeah, I imagine it's just like a big, slow swing. Like, Fearn is really feeling the effects of that strength drain, so it's kind of like he drags the sword a little bit up and into the creature as it dissipates, and he just, like, slams the sword to the ground and, like, grits his teeth, and you could see, like, this newfound rage just building in him as he picks up his sword, and it gets ready. He's gonna run. He's gonna start heading towards the cottage that has the person in the basement, thinking that...
Oh, yeah, where the basement is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You can
thinking that, like, I don't know what's going on here, but there was only one left, and I don't know if it's this guy's doing, but I'm gonna find out, is what he's thinking to himself.
I will say, Fearn, as you get closer to the Windy Mercado, so it's in the tavern that this basement is, and as you get closer to it, because, like, you don't have to go all the way around the street. Like, you can go through the pavilion of the Windy Mercado. You basically get to the back door to the Windy Mercado. Inside, you can hear... Bruce, actually, I actually need to clarify. Where did you set the snare again?
The snare is right where the trap door is. So he's in the basement, and the only way to get in is the trap door.
Yep.
Which is locked. And if he gets through, there's a snare right there.
Okay. And I forgot if we mentioned this. Did we mention it was locked inside or outside? Because you had locked it from the outside. It would have been the outside. It's a basement door. It doesn't lock from the inside.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, it would have been outside.
Because I'm just realizing how a basement door would work in this situation.
I was thinking it was like a trapdoor inside the building And there's,
Yes.
Like a
yes.
cellar kind of thing.
Well, I guess there could no. I would say there could be a lock on either side, and you could have, because yes, this is all making sense. There is. So, Fearn, you can hear someone like rustling inside with some door inside. You can hear a commotion inside. It's quiet enough. But you just get to the back door. You'll be able to go inside on your next turn.
Can I use an object interaction to at least open the door so I can see inside?
Yeah, I'll allow that. You open the door and you can easily like peek your head in and see that there's like the basement shutters are trapdoors like shaking right now, like someone's trying to figure out how to get out of there. Bruce, your traps, are they magical or are they a visual thing that like Fearn would be able to see? Sorry, right as you put food in your mouth. You could just give me a thumbs up if it's visual.
Magical.
Magical, so Fearn can't see them.
Nope.
Okay. Alrighty. Excellent. All right. All right. Next person's up. And then Septimus is on deck. Sass, you hear in your head, I suppose you're not as strong as you said you were. As you can see, this kind of like gentle breeze blows the sand at your feet of the shade down the road. You can see, you can follow it as it goes into the corpse of one of the bandits you killed. And you can see that corpse stands up as the flesh starts to burn away, and it just almost looks like a black sheet goes over the corpse, and one of those skeletal faces behind a black sheet forms as this bandit is turned into a shade.
Can I just really quickly reply to the voice?
Sure.
And just saying out loud, no, I am powerful. That's
Okay. Okay, so that one. That's it. That? Okay, cool. All right, so Septimus, you are up. The new shadow is on deck. Then Bruce is back up. So Septimus, you kind of are like you were attacking, you were fighting. You're in the midst of the fight. You're still feeling a little bit of the rage from earlier, and you see Jacques dart off. You see Fearn dart off. You see Sass kind of looking around as if she's trying to listen for a voice, and then sees she actually looks past you, and then you turn and you look and you can see that shade that has just risen up 10 feet behind you.
Okay.
You're right here.
Sorry.
You're good, man. I didn't warn you that you're coming up.
Dun,
Exactly. That's what Septimus is doing. As he's getting himself ready to attack.
Another Searing Smite. Bang.
Go for it.
Level 2 though.
Ooh.
Dude, he does his casting, but just goes and flame grows brighter than it was before as I'll charge towards the shade. Swing out.
Go for it.
This
like
does not
that.
have advantage, right?
This one does not have advantage.
Come on. Roll gods, don't fail me now. All right, 25.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Yes. All right. Here we go. Big rolls. What? 6 bludgeoning damage,
Okay.
and then plus 2d6. 7 fire damage.
Okay. So again, you see this holy blue light wraps around and wreathes around this shade, as it is not dealing as much damage as you would like, but it is finding purchase and it is hurting the shade. You can see you've basically brought it down to a semi-bloodied state. As you can see, shadows dripping off. That sand starts to drip off as well. As you can start to see a little bit of the corpse underneath it, underneath the kind of blanket-like shroud. Anything else, Jacquet? I'm sorry, Septimus?
No.
Hey. Jade's gonna go for an attack on you.
Have a roll of con save first.
Oh, hell yeah. How's a 6 do?
Fails.
Roll some damage.
Takes another 4 burning damage or fire damage.
All right. It's the fire wreathes up on it and shows that skull-like face under the shroud alight as it goes for an attack on you. 21 to hit.
No hit.
Okay. Okay, it did not roll great. So that is going to be 5 necrotic damage. And your strength is reduced by 3 points as it starts to drain your life force from you.
Bastard.
Where's my silvery barbs?
You know, I've been thinking about throwing him out there, but I don't know. This is kind of more fun. And Jacquet's off looking.
That's true. He's preoccupied, but it is kind of funny to think Jacquet's like, they need to learn my value.
If I use it all the time, it's, makes it less special.
Exactly. Bruce, you are up. Bruce, you are kind of like, I imagine, like, mechanically this is not happening anything, but I imagine after Jacquet grabbed that from you, you kind of like backed into the pillar that has the oil lantern and just like holding onto that pillar and looking around as you see the shadowy form behind Septimus and attack him, and they get kind of writhed in this blurry fight that you're just seeing kind of like light and darkness flowing off of. As you can kind of see this little pinpointed light running around in a distance that is Jacquet.
I'm gonna...
Sasser on deck.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Trying to decide what.
If you do the same thing, won't that turn out the light that Jacquet has?
No, I have 5 charges for it.
Okay, cool.
I used some for the traps, but I got one more left.
Yeah, you could do the same thing and run up behind Septimus to try to help him out with that fight.
Yeah, I might do that.
Okay, cool.
And Bruce is also going to be yell. It's not worth it.
No, I want to hear it. If he's gonna yell something, he can yell something.
Yeah, no, he's... Septimus, they're weak to the light. And he's still gonna have watery eyes, like he's terrified. He's absolutely terrified right now.
Yeah, Septimus, you hear this and you kind of like look maybe like just over your shoulder. You see Bruce kind of like come up behind you and kind of like his hand kind of like grabs onto your robes as he usually does for safety as he's holding up this little light around you, and you can kind of see those tears in his eyes, and you can see the creature visibly recoiled to the light, and on your next turn you will have advantage against it. Okay, Sass, you're up.
Out of curiosity, quickly, the light that Alex has, is that dim or regular light?
So it's bright up to 5 feet and dim another 5 feet. So it's basically it's just a magical light source at this point. The creatures do seem to not go anywhere near the oil lanterns either, but you don't really have a reason to suspect that because they've been fighting you outside of the oil lantern light, or just on the periphery of it. But they definitely don't like light.
Okay.
Sass, you are up. You see Fearn run towards the Windy Mercado's bar. You see Septimus and Bruce engaged with the shade, and in the distance you can see Jacques running around with a little flashlight.
All right.
That's what you can see on the streets.
All right. First, I'm going to kind of like roll my eyes and and bring my hands up and say, "These fuckers just stay down!" And 2 Eldritch blasts at the shade that's by Septimus.
Go ahead and roll your attacks.
First one, whoa, is a natural 20 for a 27.
Yeah, I don't need you to roll. How does the Eldritch Blast obliterate this shade?
I'm gonna do it anyway because I got to do it twice.
Go for it.
It explodes in just like icy seawater and like sea spray and maybe little bits of seaweed as well, or coral. That's harder. A little bits of coral.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it just, yeah, and I'm kind of breathing heavy and hoping that it's not going to inhabit another bandit. But now that I'm suspicious of that, I would like to then use my movement to follow Fearn towards the bar.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You see the seaweed coral kind of hailstorm that comes out of this beam, rips apart the shroud that was consuming the corpse, really. And underneath, you can see most of the corpse had turned to ash, but you just see these pair of legs and half a torso collapse on the ground as the shroud turns to sand. Septimus, that's horrifying. That happens in front of you. And you, Bruce, even though it's all really blurry as if there was a sensor because it was on cable. Septimus, you do see just sort of this shroud gets ripped to pieces and turns to sand. You just see this half torso legs fall to the ground, slumping. A little bit of ice shattering into blood.
If I was going to look up to the roof where the first one came from, that would require an action, right? Because we're in combat.
To do like a perception check, but just to look,
yeah.
You can. Like, it's just, you can look around. Because the thing is, you have devil sight. So like, unless something's like, if you just want to see if there's something up there, but if you want to look for something that might be hiding, that's different. But if you're just looking around, that's free action. To perceive is more. So if you want, you can look to the rooftops if you'd like.
Yeah. As I'm going after Fear, and I'll just kind of like keep my eyes skyward.
Yeah, you see someone.
That's right where I just fucking was. All right. Well, I failed my.
They are not there. They're not where you are. That's just the convenient place for me to place the mini.
Oh.
Okay. They're floating about 10 feet up above there, levitating.
All right.
And you can see, you have devil sight. You can see everything, Shannon. This is Dalen the Half-Orc Shadowmancer.
All right, then I'm gonna skid in like I was hurrying after Fear, but I'm gonna skid to a stop in front of the roof and just shout to anyone who can hear me, on the roof.
Bruce and Septimus, you would hear that. I mean, you're shouting it. He's not that far away. Jacques, you hear that too. If you're shouting that, you're only you're not that far away where you can hear that. Everyone hears it.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be quiet. I was trying to attract the attention,
including
of
the half-orc.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, everyone hears to the roof, and if any of you look, you just don't see anything up there. Okay, Sass, you use the rest of your movement to get under the pavilion closer to where Fearn is.
Yep.
Okay, you're only like...
I was going after Fearn,
But
but
you
now that
stop.
I can see,
You stay?
Yes, I'm staying where he is. Yes.
So I'll say you get to like the edge of the pavilion and stop.
Okay. Okay.
And you can actually step back out into the street if you want, or you can step under the pavilion if you want cover. It's up to you. Because you only move like 10 feet.
Yeah. I'll just have like skidded and stopped exactly where I am.
Okay. Just checking if you wanted to move at all anymore. That's okay. All right, Jacquette, you are down at the bottom of the map, and you hear Sass shout to the rooftops.
Of course. And then he's going to movement 30 feet, run towards the roof. How far does that, or how close does that get me?
30 feet gets you right there. So you're...
and...
I mean, you would look and you don't really... It's hard to see. With your dark vision, I'll say you can see the outline of the half-orc now that she's pointed it out.
All right, I'm gonna take that glowing rock and lob it, not throw it. You know, a gentle lob, trying to get it up there.
Love it. Go ahead and give me a ranged attack roll.
I mean, if I could hit him with it, that'd be cool.
I mean, you can try that too. I guess that's up to you. Do you want to try hitting him with it, or trying to like get it on the roof in a place where it'll stay?
I'm trying to get it on the roof. I don't want to do it with disadvantage.
Okay, go for it.
I'll just use crossbow.
Yeah,
23.
Yeah, I'll say it. You're able to throw it so it lands in this very perfect spot. It gets caught in between two shingles, and you can see it is illuminating him from below. He is still like technically within dim light, but you have a much better eye on him to keep an eye on him. Only reason he's still in dim light is because he's levitating 10 feet above the rooftop. But it's like before it was like you just barely could see him and you would have easily lost him. Now you have a clear outline of him.
All right, then I'm going to bonus action dash can I get under the pavilion, just under it, so he wouldn't be able to see me?
Yes, you can.
Cool, I'm going to dash under there. Wait.
Yeah. By the way, Fearn, you're on deck. And Fearn, you also would have heard Sass say, on the roof.
Yep, of course.
All right, I'm just going to get into the closest bit of cover where I can still see him.
Okay, that would probably be jumping back into the blacksmith's area and crouching down.
All right, that works.
All right. Anything else, Jacquette?
I ended my turn.
All right. Fearn, you're up.
Okay. Sean, from what I know about the Windy Mercado, is there any way to get to the roof from inside?
You would know that there is not, but you do know where the ladder is they use to get to the roof. It's not up right now. They took it down so that people wouldn't climb up on the roof if the bandits got through, but you know where the ladder is. You could go grab the ladder. It'll probably take your movement and dash to do all of that. But you'd be able to get up onto the roof on the other side of the roof.
In one turn?
With movement and dash, I'll say yes. Because you're right at the door, so it's not a big place. So you could easily grab it, run outside, start climbing up it, and you'd be basically, on your next turn, be able to get up onto the roof. Basically, end your turn at the top of the ladder.
Okay, I guess I'll do that.
Okay.
So Fearn's like not even thinking, he just heard the roof, and then he's like, he quickly grabs the ladder, like smashes it through a window, puts it up, starts climbing, gets to the top of the roof, and then looks at the guy, like he's got his sword up in the air, and he's ready to swing, and he looks up, and the guy's like 90 feet above him, and he's like, what the hell?
Yep, that's where you are. That's where he
Oh, it's not even the same building?
No, it is. I just don't have enough roofs.
Okay.
It is the same building. Okay. It's Dalen's turn. So taking note that you all can see him now, he is going to look across the battlefield.
I don't think Bruce can, but...
Yeah, Bruce can't see him, but well, he assumes. He doesn't know anything about you, Bruce. He assumes you can see him. He is going to look down. The only people he can see right now from his position are Sass, Bruce, and Fearn. So I'm going to need... he's going to twin that. So I'm going to need Sass and he just walked away. Someone else roll for him for this. It's a wisdom saving throw that I need from Septimus and Sass.
Yeah, I can roll for him. A wisdom save. Frick. For me, it's a 6.
It's a fail.
I don't know what his modifier is, but it is an 11 on the dice.
I can get to him real quick just to see.
His wisdom is +2. I just looked it up.
Okay, so 13 for Septimus.
And he's not proficient, is he?
No.
Cool. All right, so both of you fail. As he twin cast fear on you both. So you let's see. Never mind. I take that back. I take that back. I did that wrong. No, that doesn't work that way.
Okay.
I take that back entirely. Instead, we're gonna do a different spell that actually is targeted, like a good DM who knows the rules.
And re-rolls everything because mistake.
So I will allow you guys to re-roll it, but they are con saves actually, not wisdom saves.
All right.
Okay.
Is it a charmed effect?
No.
I can't roll on his sheet, but it's a +6 to con, and he is proficient.
Okay, so go ahead and roll for Septimus as well. Sass, just add 6 to it.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, you still fail.
Great. And he rolled a 23.
He succeeds. As you would hear that,
Septimus.
you would hear that deep voice in your head again, and it would basically say, "You're alone in this world, nobody, and a coward and fearful and small and weak." As you would see all light fade from your eyes, including your, actually, this is interesting.
Does it work with Devil's Sight? Whatever it is.
Read me Devil's Sight.
Sure. Give me 1 second. All right. You can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet.
Nope. You are blinded by the blindness spell, because you can see in darkness. This is taking your sight away entirely. As you see, for the first time in a while, because of this Devil's Sight, you actually see nothing, and you are completely blinded. Septimus starts to feel this, but overcomes it. As it is Septimus's turn, but we'll hold his turn. Bruce, you are up. We'll just have Septimus go when he gets back, but the two of you are standing there. You can't see him, but obviously Sass has mentioned someone is on the roof, and Septimus is kind of seems to be holding his action for when he catches up his breath. Sass, you're up after Bruce.
I think Bruce is just gonna. He can't see anything, so he's just gonna freak out. Did Septimus take any damage?
Septimus did take damage from the shade.
You muted, and so was I.
Oh, I'm probably just gonna hold my action.
Okay. we'll have you hold your action. Sass, you are up as this blindness has taken hold.
Okay. Fuck. All right. I have the general idea of where this guy was. It's probably because I can't see. It'll probably be disadvantage to Eldritch Blast him, right?
You fail any ability checks that require sight. So you will not be able to attack him with blindness on you. Oh, no, sorry, you have disadvantage.
Okay. It doesn't say that you can see in the spell.
For Eldritch Blast, it's a targeted spell.
Yeah, okay, fine. All right, here we go.
Works like an arrow.
Oh, I rolled the same thing twice. So 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Excellent. That's going to be 10 points of force damage for the first beam. And for the second beam, it's going to miss. That's a 9.
Okay, that first one hits. Everyone who's outside can see that burst of green light as it hits him for a moment. And I'll say, just because that light hits him for a moment, on your next turns, you'll have a chance to attack him, even if you couldn't see him before. Except for Bruce, because Bruce's sight is so limited. But with ranged attacks, you can go for an attack on him without the disadvantage because of the light of the Eldritch Blast this one time.
And I'll just say, you're already in my fucking head. Get out of my fucking eyes.
Which makes no sense to anyone else. But that's Sass. Jacquette.
Okay. So I can see him. Can I bonus action hide to get advantage?
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
$17.
Let me find his passive. Where is it? Where did it go? That just beats his passive, so you are hidden, so you will get advantage.
All right, so I imagine Jacques like slips up behind a column and then pops around the other side because he thought he was going to pop out that side.
I tricked him.
Shoots out a little hand crossbow. Oh, am I within 30 feet of him? I guess I should have checked my ranges.
Let me just double check. No. Yeah, no, you wouldn't be within 30 feet. You would be within 60 feet.
Could I have potentially moved closer to be within 30 feet and then done the hide action to then shoot? I understand if not, because I would be like underneath and then to come out, you know?
What's your movement speed again?
30.
If
not, it's fine.
Because 30 feet could get you... I would say no, just based on the way the map is. So I was going to say, because 30 feet could get you around the corner to that second lantern post, but you wouldn't have enough movement speed to come out and shoot. You would to get the full benefit.
Okay, so with that in mind, I will move to closer to 30 feet to see him shoot, and then any additional movement, I would move closer.
Okay, so go ahead and give the attack roll.
It's going to be a 23.
That'll definitely hit.
All right, so that's only going to be 9 piercing.
Okay, 9 piercing. Okay.
And then I'll use the rest of my movement to get into the pavilion so that he can no longer see me. or around to the side. Basically, I want to set it up so that next turn I can climb up the post.
Yeah, you can just get into the pavilion, and next turn you will be able to climb up.
Right. Perfect. And then so I didn't use my bonus action to hide. Instead, I'll use my bonus action to I'll use unsettling words on him. And as I get closer, Jacques goes, "Oh wait, I thought you were the bounty hunter. Oh, this is just some fucking half work. Oh, this is gonna be easy." So it's D6 off his next saving throw.
Nice. All right, I'll put a D6 here to remind myself. All right, Fearon, you are up.
How much higher is he above me?
So you are on the opposite end of the Windy Mercado. So you still have to run towards him. But then he's 10 feet up above the rooftop.
Oh, that's jumping distance if I gotta run.
If you can get up to him, it is jumping distance for sure. Well, what's your strength at? What is the high jump for a running high jump?
Well, I got a 16 in strength because it got nerfed. There is a jumping 5e tool, which I'm looking up right now.
You leap into the air, a number of feet equal to 3 plus your strength modifier if you move at least 10 feet. So what would that be? That would be 6 feet. You can jump up 6 feet.
Could I jump from the highest point of the roof because it's like kind of slanted, and like can that like cover the gap?
I would ask for a roll, an acrobatics roll to get that, but I would allow it. Right now, though, you are a distance away from him. So he's 50 feet away from you and then 10 feet up in the air.
Damn.
Yeah, the Windy Mercado is a very long pavilion.
I'm gonna move 30 feet towards him.
Okay.
But first, I'm gonna cast Protection of Good and from Evil and Good on myself.
Okay.
And then I move my 30 feet towards him, and I yell out, "Hey, Flyboy, over here! Come get some!"
Love it. Septimus, we'll let you get your turn in now that you've returned. Jacques was able to kind of light the guy up a little bit. You overcame a blindness spell he tried to cast on you. And right now you can see your friends are kind of closing in on him. You can kind of just see the outline of him floating 10 feet above the roof.
Okay. The corpses. Well, when he did that shadow spell on a corpse.
Yes.
That was a corpse, right? That wasn't on. Like,
that was a straight corpse. It was not an unconscious bandit. It was one of the corpses.
Okay. Where's the next nearest corpse?
So it would be those downed guys or the corpses. I don't have the unconscious ones on there. I only have the corpses on there.
All right, that's fine. Running to the nearest corpse.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly one that it. Huh?
Sorry, just necromancy.
Particularly one
vibes.
if it's close. If there's too close to one another, or if there's like if.
Yeah, no, there's definitely like I have representations down there, but there's there are the ones on the other side are clustered closer together. This one's by itself.
So I'll go to the other one. I'll go to the other one closer together. Laying my hands upon whatever garment they're wearing. I'm just gonna cast light on it.
Ooh, nice. I like that.
Also, Sean, real quick, the action I was holding.
Oh
is
yeah,
just to copy whatever wherever Septimus goes. So I'm gonna follow him to this corpse as well. Ooh, look at that!
Excellent. Yeah, it's funny. You didn't have to say it. I kind of assumed that was what you were going to do.
Of course. Oh wait, to Alex or me?
To Alex.
Oh.
Okay, so this space is significantly lit up by the garment on this corpse, kind of keeping somewhat of a protection over the whole space.
In my mind, at least.
In your mind, at least,
Maybe.
based on observations so far. Okay.
And I don't think I have any bonus actions that would be useful. No. So.
All right, let me roll to see if he gets that ability back. He does. Septimus, you do see that sand that is on the ground where the corpse that Jacques was fighting does move towards the one of these corpses. And as soon as the shade rises, you do see it has this like internal conflict as it is taking this corpse, where it's like it's consuming the material of the corpse and even the clothes. You can see that light almost bleeds into it like a reverse photo print of ink in water, and it does start to shriek, and it is permanently has advantage against it for everyone, and it has disadvantage on its attack.
Lit. Get it?
I missed it. What'd you say?
Please laugh.
Yeah, please laugh. I said lit.
Oh. I missed it.
And then actually Septimus says that in the town, and every single resident just erupts in laughter and applauds.
Yep, revealing their location.
Bandits do too. They drop their weapon.
Yeah, Delvin descends and drops to his knees and be like, "Damn, I surrender."
His name's Dalen, not Delvin.
Oven.
You could vicious mockery him if that was his name, without even using magic. Anyway,
I have
okay.
a question, Sean.
Yes, you may ask your question now.
Oh, thank you. Was I able to repeat my save for blinded, or does it last until his turn?
You do get to repeat your save. Wait, Tess, did you go yet? No, you did. You attacked him.
I
Yep,
did.
that's right. So go ahead and give me that save again.
It was
DC
a con
15.
save, right?
Yep, con save DC 15.
I got a 15.
All right, you are no longer blinded, as you can see your
Good.
friends closing in on this half orc.
Excellent.
It is his turn.
Where was that spirit that rose again? That you
Oh yeah,
mentioned?
it's right in front of you.
Oh, okay.
It fall over.
Oh, so it straight up followed me and went for the one that I. Okay, cool. Sorry, you did put that there.
The only reason it went for that one is because the sand was like right next to these ones. If it was a smart boy, it would have gone for the other corpse because it's further from the light.
It's just dumb sand doesn't even have a brain.
Dumb sand.
Probably rough and coarse, and it gets everywhere.
No.
Boo.
All right, I need to. Okay.
Uh-oh. He's counting.
Oh no, he's gonna cast darkness.
That's okay.
What happened to the arrow villagers? Did they just fuck off?
They can't see shit.
Yes.
Everything's dark.
They're just
don't
like,
have
I
dark
just ran past them and they're like, what's happening?
Uh-oh. That's not a good sign.
Sass, Bruce, and Septimus give me Constitution saving throws.
Ooh,
Well, actually,
why is it never me?
Let's go!
Natural 20.
The mind is weak, but the body is strong.
Nice.
22.
24.
Mind and body are weak
Wow.
with a 23.
Holy shit. Tough cookies.
Where's
Yeah.
Oblivious?
We'll say it's the light, whatever you're saying.
Yeah, I will say the light in the dark is protecting you.
I'm scared of
everything
you
the
saying,
light
get out
touches.
of my face.
Is our kingdom.
the three of you feel the entire like battle go quiet. It was already somewhat deathly quiet in this space, where in an eerie way, where there's just sort of this wind and the flickering of the oil lanterns, and now kind of like this dull humming of the light spells that are kind of flinging everywhere. But it seems like there was this light wind that all stops at once for Septimus, Bruce, and Sass. And you can hear that voice in your head again, saying, and this time all of you, it's the same voice, just saying, "You are formidable foes, not to be trifled with, I've learned now. Die."
Die.
Let me just roll the
Wiswick.
dice for this.
Did I hear it this time, Sean?
No. Only.
Still not me. Okay.
Oh, I get it. It's not power word kill. It's not.
East.
Or whatever. Plus, you guys succeeded, so it's gonna be half damage on this.
That would be mean.
And yeah.
Okay, so you all take 25 points of necrotic damage, and then halve that.
Oh, Jesus, I was about to
So
say.
13 necrotic damage.
Oh, wait.
Ouch.
As you can see, kind of like you for a moment, you like kind of close your eyes and then open them, and there are like dozens of those shades all around you for a moment, all staring at you, and then you feel this striking pain in your head and your body. You feel almost like your essence is being drained into the darkness surrounding the town, as he did cast a circle of death on you, that you fortunately all saved and took half damage for. But this is the point when anyone who looks up to him would see him kind of like cock his head in surprise that you're all still standing. And his last action, wait, no, that would have been his action. So he can't do that. He doesn't have the movement. All right, Septimus, you're up. After you felt that and heard that in your head, you look around and there's only that spirit in front of you. There's not the dozens of shades that you had seen for a moment when you opened your eyes and blinked. Bruce, there were dozens of black, frightening blobs. As Bruce is weeping at your side, Septimus.
Oh,
no.
Bruce. You're okay.
But there is that one shade in front of you.
Yeah, kind of like drop like a knee, like really feeling the necrotic spell. I'm actually gonna not attack, and I'm gonna second level cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Go for it.
10 healing to myself. Wish that was a little more, but what are you gonna do? I guess that's it.
Okay.
Because if I move, that's an attack of opportunity, correct?
Yes.
All right, so then I'm going to hold fast.
Okay. Nice. Okay, Septimus, you see, and Bruce, you see this shade now kind of like twitching in the light that is bleeding into its own shadowy shroud as it goes to reach a arm up to attack at you. It's at that same moment that you would hear kind of like a not a meek battle cry, but not a battle cry of a hardened warrior, the battle cry of a peasant pretending to be a warrior, as you would look over your shoulder, and from the blacksmith comes running that blacksmith's daughter with a sword and shield to come help you.
And she just erupts and dies.
Yep, it immediately dies.
Oh no!
That's who we cast Power Word Kill on.
had to use her everything to get there, but she comes running up and I imagine like tries to block this shade's attack on you, but it does get it gets its attempt at you, Septimus, which is at disadvantage.
Damn right.
Which is a 15 to hit.
Ooh, nope.
Okay, perhaps it was the war cry of the blacksmith, or it was the light bleeding within its body.
Literally struck fear into death itself.
Yes. Okay. That brings us to Bruce. Sass, you're on deck. Jacquette after that, and then Fearn. So basically, you all are going to get a whole nother round on this guy before his next turn.
Uh-oh.
All right. Bruce doesn't know what to do. The bandits' weapons, are they on the ground, or are they on?
Yes, they are. So the shade was consuming the ones that it were on, like it had taken over, but the other bandits on the ground, there's one right next to you. Their weapons are just there.
Oh, what kind of weapons are there?
We're talking hatchets, clubs, swords. There are some crossbows, hand crossbows that haven't broken. Whatever munitions they could steal off of folks.
Bruce is pathetically gonna pick up the hatchet that's on the ground and just throw it.
Love it. I love that.
While still being behind Septimus, like just peek around.
Yeah. I imagine. So Septimus is like standing there. He was on that knee. He imbues himself with the holy energy of the machine, and then you dart to the side of the road, pick up a hand axe, run up to go behind him, and still kind of try to huck it from around him. So go ahead and give me a ranged attack with disadvantage.
All I want is the 2 nat 20s. Let's see
Isn't
it.
he in light? So
Yeah, so that equals out. That equals out. So it's a straight roll.
Let's go, Brucey.
Sass, you're on deck.
a total of a 1.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, that hatchet just goes clattering into the well behind the group there. with a mighty yelp from Bruce.
He was alive, I swear. He was alive before Bruce's hatchet hit him.
Bruce, how could you? You killed the man.
Shit.
Sass, you are up. Jacquette, you're on
Okay.
deck.
Is he within 60 feet of me?
Yes.
So after that last attack, it nearly dropped me, but I am still up. I'm gonna say I kind of like dropped to one knee, gripping my head, and then I'm going to look up, still kind of holding my head, and say, "There's only room for one voice in my head. Take yours back." And I'm going to fling out my hands and cast Mind Sliver on him.
Ooh.
Is
that an attack roll or a saving throw? Because he has
It is a
negative.
saving throw.
Good.
An
He's got a negative D6 to that.
Good. Intelligence saving throw, 15.
Love it. He fails.
Excellent. He's gonna take 2d6 psychic damage, which is gonna be a total of 10. And it needs to subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes before the end of my next turn.
Keep the saving throw debuff chained.
Yeah.
Love it.
Bonus action. Oh, wait, no. So when you said I had 2 rounds left on my tentacle, was that 2 rounds of combat or 2 like charges of the tentacle to use?
I don't know how that depends. How does the tentacle work? Are there charges to it?
To summon them there are, but if
it's already out, then there's no you don't need to use a charge, right?
Yeah, but you had said I have 2 rounds of it left.
Does it last for a certain amount of time when it's summoned?
A minute Or
Yeah, so
until
I basically
use-
meant you had 12 seconds left of that minute to
That's
2
I
rounds
think
of
it's been
combat.
12 minutes. Okay. So then it's gone. And I don't have any left, and I can't do anything, so that's it. That's all I do.
Okay, Jacquette.
How much movement to climb up to the top of the pavilion? I have climbing speed of 30, so.
Oh, climbing speed of 30? Okay, yeah. Then let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. So it'll take you 15 movement to get on top of that little lamppost there so that you can hop right onto the
Gotcha.
roof.
And you said he was floating 10 feet
Yeah.
off the...
Yeah, so he's 10 feet off where he actually is.
Okay, so I couldn't engage in melee, right?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna get up there, and then I'm gonna move so that I'm across from him with Fjern. And then bonus action, unsettling words, and go, man, we got 2 beats. Just give up already. You smelly feet. And no one heard that except for Jacques. It was really bad. And then I am going to cast second level Dissonant Whispers. So it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw DC 14 with a -4 and a -6 to his save.
Jesus. Wisdom save, you said?
I cast it.
Minus a D4.
And a d6.
And a D6.
Ha ha ha.
Does he have to roll concentration to keep flying?
No, he does not. He fails. It's like I don't even know why I'm sitting here doing math. He rolled a 5, and then I rolled a 5 on your debuffs. So yes, he fails the Dissonant Whispers.
Nice.
Fantastic. That's 17 psychic damage, and he has to use his reaction to move away from me. His full movement.
Okay.
Oh no.
Doesn't matter what kind of movement that is.
Right by. Yeah, as far as its speed allows away from you.
Okay, then he is going to move directly up in the air.
Oh.
No. Well, okay. If anything, he should move at an angle.
Okay. He'll move at an angle away.
I don't like it, but that's a little bit better. I'm sorry. I thought this would just send him close to you, Farron, but
You've ruined me.
I have. Single-handedly, Jacquette has ruined you.
I had such a cool turn.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Sean might just kill him right now. Drop him from above.
Yeah. As he will move at that angle, 30 feet away. So he is.
Of flying speed, we can assume.
You can definitely assume he has 30 feet of flying speed.
Okay.
In these conditions.
How high off the roof is he now?
I'll say it's not a dramatic angle. I'll say he's 15 feet up as opposed to 10 feet.
Okay. Look up that high jump.
He is a 6-foot high jump. Which means that he is 12 feet, where like his hands will be 12 feet. He raises them up a little bit. I guess how long are people's arms? Maybe he can grab his foot.
Fury has unnormally long arms.
But it is your turn.
Only
Fury.
had jump. So wait, is it logically possible for me to jump at him at any point during that?
Mechanically, no. By
Okay.
the
No,
rules
that's
as
fine.
written, mechanically, no. There's no interaction you would have with him. He would be just 15 feet, be 20 feet away from you and 15 feet up. Or I'm sorry, 10 feet away from you and 15 feet.
Okay, so I'm gonna bridge that 10-foot gap so I'm directly below him. And then I'm going to put my sword away, and I hold arcane energy in my hands, and I cast Ray of Frost twice because it's a cantrip, and I have 2 attacks.
No, cantrip is 1 action, and attack, multi-attack is 1 action that you take. But Jacques has something that I think might determine something here.
Okay.
High jump is 3 plus your strength modifier. I always forget which one's the actual modifier.
Fearin has weakened strength right now. If it's +3 modifier, that means he's +3 for the 3 to 6.
Never mind. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
You're thinking score. If you're thinking of like,
Yep, you're right.
You're thinking score.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
So I can't cantrip twice?
No, you can only cantrip once. It is action to cast a cantrip. It doesn't count towards multi-attack.
Then I think I will probably just start throwing things. I immediately take the battle axe and a dagger if I can. I don't know if I have enough actions to grab both of those and throw them in one turn. But I want to just chuck both of them at this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll allow you to. I mean, you're just putting away your the greatsword and hucking these things. I'll allow it. Go ahead and huck a hand axe and then huck a dagger.
Okay, here we go. Actually, no, a battle axe is not a throwing weapon, and I don't have one of those. So therefore, it doesn't work. I'm just gonna Ray of Frost it.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the better move.
I was trying to be cool. It's fine.
I know. We can say the Ray of Frost looks like a frozen hand axe that flies at him.
You know, I was gonna like shoot 2 Ray of Frost with both of my hands, but I'll just use both hands for 1 Ray of Frost.
Yeah,
like
there you go.
There you go.
When you get to the level the Ray of Frost upgrades to 2d8, we can say it's 2 hands.
It is 2d8.
Oh, we'll say it's 2 hands. Flavor-wise, absolutely. It's just mechanically not going to happen.
19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Good rolls. 13 cold damage.
Nice. Okay. All right.
And I say, "Come down here, you coward!"
He is looking bloodied.
He also has minus 10 to his.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got it. End my turn.
Okay. It is his turn. It's back. Down below, you see that other small pile of sand starts clawing, reaching for a corpse, and that last viable corpse down there does shadow.
Ooh, spooky.
Let's see. Dalen is going to look about to you all as he is flying higher and higher into the dark sky. And anyone looking towards him, he would finally talk with his own voice, as opposed to into anyone's mind, if that's what that even was, and says. Some pathetic backwater adventurers are not worth my time. This project has failed, clearly. And the shadow will twirl around him, and he will disappear. But there are still shadows down below. Septimus, you are up. There are 2 shadows now hanging out.
Is that light affecting the other shadow?
It is. Yes. So
Yes.
there's advantage on that other shadow.
Alrighty then. Oh. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna, guess, go ahead and smack him.
Go for it.
Old reliable smackaroonie. 18.
Are you going for the one that you already attacked or the new one?
The one I already attacked.
Okay, yeah, that'll hit.
8 bludgeoning damage.
Hell yeah. That thing also didn't do its con save at the end of its last turn.
Oh, hell yeah.
It also didn't actually attack either.
Okay. Well, then give it its turn.
Okay, it will try to attack you, but it's going to miss. With a,
No,
13.
first roll its con save, mister.
Yes, good call. Good call. Oh, good call.
Although, unless that's not going to kill him.
It might. He fails his con save, so go ahead and roll the fire damage as well.
Come on, 6. 2.
2, okay. All right, so that did not kill him.
Yep.
But it also didn't get to attack or damage you, so that's good.
Oh, he misses the attack, you said.
He missed the attack on you, but
Nice.
You were able to deal that damage to him. Anything else after your hammer goes swiping out and hits through some of the shadow, sending some of that sand dissipating around as that fire also wreathed around.
No, that's it.
Okay. It is the shadow's turn. It's going to go for an attack on you, Septimus. For a not going to hit with a 9. The other one is going to go for an attack on the blacksmith's daughter.
No.
Which fortunately it rolled a 2, so it misses.
Oh my
as
goodness.
perhaps her bravery is keeping it at bay as it goes to attack at her, and she brings a shield up. This real shoddy shield. Clearly a shield made by a guy who only makes pots and pans. Oh, Bruce, your pot. Your pan, actually, you got a pan. And then she brings a sword up and just sort of like parrying the attacks of this shade very bravely for very simple townsfolk who could be killed by one attack by these things. Okay. Sass, you're up. Or no, I'm sorry. Bruce, you're up, then Sass.
So, exactly what you just said, Sean, which is... Bruce is going to try to throw another thing.
Throw the cast iron pan?
Yeah, you just want to get close.
Okay. I love this. Give me an improvised ranged attack. And I imagine behind Septimus, Bruce is like doing like a twirl to get the momentum to throw the pan.
Yes!
I was thinking more of like he's got his bag of holding in one hand and he just has one hand in the other and he's just hucking things and just reaching them out.
The problem is that Bruce definitely is like this cast iron pan is way too heavy for Bruce. So
That's
he's
true, too.
got to do a little spinny spin to hit this thing.
I got an 18.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Let's see. We're gonna consider this to be similar to any other kind of like thrown weapon, except it'll deal bludgeoning damage. So go ahead and roll me a d4.
Okay. Three damage.
I love it. I love it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. We round up for resistance. Bruce, how does this frying pan flying through the air kill the shade that is attacking Septimus? Because it only had 2 health left, and I'm rounding up that I round up the resistance damages, so that 3 turned into a 2.
Oh god. So Bruce is rummaging through his bag. Exactly like you said, the cast iron pan is too heavy for Bruce, so he's gonna get some momentum. He's a little scared that, you know, if he releases at the wrong time, he's just gonna hit the back of Septimus's head.
Yeah.
But But so he lets it go, and he's arms out, and almost trips. Actually, you know what? He trips over, and the pan goes flying right into the Shade's face. As I imagine the Shade is about to bring his hand up on Septimus and just whacks him in the face, and then immediately dust or the sand just disperses and.
Absolutely. This pan does exactly that. The flat end of it hits this Shade right in the face. You can see that shroud turns completely into sand as it disappears. And the dead bandit corpse underneath just kind of has this dazed look on its face as this pot had hit it. And it falls to the ground dead. Excellent turn, Bruce. Play of the game. Sass, you are up. The half-orc has disappeared. There's one Shade left.
All right. It just Eldritch blasted. Pew pew.
Pew away.
First one is a 16 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay. Second one is a natural 20.
Excellent.
So just obliterate it in a shower of seaweed and coral and seawater.
As this brave villager is fighting off this thing, it just completely explodes into seawater in her face as ostensibly any threat around you all has disappeared. You start to see stars above in the sky. The alleyways start to fill back up with lights to the point that your dark vision would normally see at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And a chorus of life comes back, where you can start to hear crickets. You can start to hear the world outside of this small hamlet as, for the first time in the last 30 seconds or so, you feel safe again for the most part. Safe as you would normally feel after a fight where you can't see any enemies anymore. And that's where we're going to cut to a break. We went way past our normal break time. Finish up the combat. We'll be right back, folks. Stick around with us to see the aftermath of this little fight. See you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. Our adventuring party here has just fought off the last of the enemies in the region. They have captured they've captured a significant number of bandits and killed those who remained for the most part. And have thwarted Dalen, the Shadowmancer half-orc, who works for some employer that the party is not aware of who was contracting these bandits for the work here. He left proclaiming this project a failure and for you all not to be worth his time, and disappeared into the darkness of the night. The life of the streets returned, the nature surrounding Billowgrass returned, as you can see stars above, and the moon light of Ilyuvania in the sky comes. Some of you have taken a lot of damage. Some of you have not taken a lot of damage, but taken some life force drained from you, from the shadows. But ultimately, the streets are quiet now. You can climb down from rooftops, crawl out from behind your allies you were hiding behind. Let the adrenaline calm, hopefully. What would you all like to do?
I would say
Immediately light a torch.
Fearn does not want to let the adrenaline go. He feels this draining energy on him, and it's kind of just sapping his strength, and he hates it. It is egging him on, it's taking away a part of him. So he's not feeling comfortable right now. When the opponent disappears, the Shadowmancer, he slams his fist onto the roof.
Rooftop.
Yeah, just breaking a shingle off, and it goes flying down. And he slides down and kind of just like tries to get off the roof as quickly as possible by like sliding off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna be heading towards where that guy is in the basement in a power walking, frustrated harumph.
Sure. Yes, but also Bruce. Yes, you can quickly grab one of the torches that are out and light it back up, because there are some on the ground. As you kind of look around, I mean, you still have blurred vision, but that torch perhaps gives you a little bit of comfort in the still nighttime dark.
You know, go back and forth. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is, and then pick it up.
Yes. And you know, even though like the starlight's returned and the moonlight, it's still nighttime and it's still dark. You still look out past the streets and it is darkness beyond in the nature. Perhaps this fight giving you a new fear of what lies where you cannot see.
Is everyone all right?
Fine. As I've got like blood dripping from my nose and like my hair's falling out of my ribbon. We need to go talk to this fucker before he gets out, yeah?
You guys can do that. I'm gonna hopefully relax a bit.
You're brilliant, Bruce. That was a great throw. Just clap him on the shoulder and keep walking.
As you look and see the dented cast iron pan in the middle of the courtyard.
Dented?
You hit that thing hard.
Kind of still just like ready, just kind of like because of everything that's happened and not being able to see as well as some other people, just kind of like looking around, having a second where like not being attacked, Septimus maybe feeling like something could happen again, heals himself with cure wounds, because he did sustain almost lethal damage. So kind of just try to like to stabilize himself a bit, and kind of just still like waiting in a ready pose, on alert, but as it seems to like be the end of it for now. He'll kind of sheathe or put away his hammer and do this quietly and somberly, just walk over to Sal again. Septimus would know, so I'll ask you, would Septimus by himself be able to like drag Sal?
I mean, Septimus is a pretty tall guy, pretty strong. You would probably still need help though for Sal.
You know what's trying to scratch that too, because my strength was drained, so that's not even gonna happen. So
I could imagine you. Okay, because I could imagine you trying at first and then feeling the weight of what's been drained from you.
So I'll just go back to him, and just kind of like, not as much like sorrowful, like over him, just kind of like on my knees, like, but just like head down, and then just kind of like praying before him.
Absolutely. Jacquette, what are you doing?
So Jacquette saw Fjorn,
Yes.
In his bout of rage or what have you, smashing the shingles and sliding off. And as he moves to go follow, he also sees Sass start to walk off. And so he's going to walk parallel with her. As she walks down the street, he's going to walk along the edge of the pavilion. Kind of like balancing in that nonchalant way along the edge, walking foot before foot. He goes, "So, are you just a killer now? Is that what you do? You make such a big deal, and then what?"
Not breaking pace and just keep going. I keep walking. Well, you know what the ocean says. And I just keep walking.
No, I have no idea what. The ocean does not speak unless you mean the waves, in which case it just goes crash. Crash.
Are you coming or not?
I mean, he's just following along beside her as he just kind of like talks about the noises that the ocean makes and what they might mean.
And the two of you can, I'm assuming, Sass and Joquette, you're going to join Fearn.
I have a question, actually. Do
Mhm.
we know that this guy's in the basement? Did Bruce tell us?
Yes, Bruce
Yeah.
did. Yeah,
He
right
did,
before
okay,
combat
all right.
started tonight, before there were shadows, Bruce
Right,
said,
right. Okay.
He didn't
Just
mention
checking.
any traps though.
"There's a guy." I was trying to do a Bruce voice, and then I went into a Wiswick voice.
I heard Bruce.
There's a guy.
That was Wiswick. Okay,
Okay.
just checking.
All right, so Fearn, when you step inside, you would see the doors are no longer rattling. Would you like to go over and unlock it and open it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Let's get there. Bruce, what is the saving throw for this snare?
DC 16, dexterity.
Give us a dex save, Fearn.
I got an 8. Nope, 6.
All right, what
So-
happens?
So this is adjacent to the building, right? Outside?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, it looks like the ground very quickly just like is there grass there?
Yeah, there'll be grass nearby.
Okay. All right. So this is like right in front of the Bilko doors, and so very quickly the dirt just like a web shot from the ground just forces you against the wall of the building. And so you're just like laid flat, like right above the Bilko doors.
Bruce!
Bruce, you hear this from up the street.
Bruce is just like, He's not
Where are you, you little salamander?
I think I can end it from here.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. Yeah, because it is magical in nature.
Bruce is gonna give like 6 seconds. Wait for,
It's enough time for Jacquette and Sass to get up there and see him pinned up against the side of the building.
Ian's just like frantically, like frustratingly, like, you know, just like his arms are waving all over the place. Like he's just like biting with his teeth. He's like trying to like cut the ropes with his horn. Like he's doing everything he can to like wiggle his way out of this thing, but it's just not taken.
Bruce is
And-
killing it tonight.
And then all at once, it disappears and you fall to the ground.
I kick
That
the
have
cat
helped.
away. And then I straighten my coat and I look at the other two and I say, "What?"
I didn't see anything.
Bruce is fucking clever. Alright, so how are we doing this? Are we going in all at once? Are we going in one at a time? What are we doing?
I slam on the door. Like I just start like hitting it, not like to open it, but just to like make a loud noise to alert the guy.
Mm-hmm. You don't
And
hear
say-
anything from inside.
Oi, we're coming down. Back away from the door if you don't want to get hurt.
Yes, that'll do it.
Eldritch Brass prepped. Just in case if the door opens, he comes barging out.
I bust open the lock with the butt of my sword and open the thing slowly and carefully.
You open it up. It is completely dark down there, except for very dim, sort of violet light that you could just almost as if someone has like a very like truthfully like someone had a phone screen open on the opposite side of from the entrance.
No sight of the person, or
You have
is
to
it
step
too
in.
dark?
You have to step down. This is like the double doors that you open and step down into the basement from. Like a fairly like steep step down too.
Jacques is going to light his tinder box and light up his hooded lantern to look down.
In the immediate vicinity of that immediate space at the bottom of the steps is clear. You don't see anything there. You'd have to step down at least a couple steps to see into the whole space. Or you could dip your head in.
Let me look. I can see in the dark.
Fearn gets in front of her anyway. Like he's gonna push ahead, and he's making sure, like, he's using his body sort of as a buffer in case he tries to like sneak by using invisibility or something. Like he's just trying to like make himself as wide as possible, and like he's kind of just like got his sword ready, and put like off to the side like this, like in a horizontal fashion. So if something touches it, he can react. But
basically you're kind of a buffer in front of Sass, taking a few steps down while she follows, so she can look into the dark.
Right.
And no one could escape. They'd have to maneuver pretty sneakily to get past you in this space because you're taking up most of it. Sass, when you look in, you don't need that dark vision or the double sight. You can see pretty clearly in here, and it's now that you can see that purple light is coming from like small, very tiny fires in this space. The whole room's not like on fire or blazing or anything. It's kind of like when there's little pieces of debris on fire after a small explosion that are slowly going out themselves. And you can see in the corner of this basement, up against the stone wall of the foundations, you can see the dangerous man, green-eyed man that you two would have actually had more of a face-to-face with. He is sitting in the corner. The stone surrounding him is scorched with this purplish magic, almost as if an explosion came off of his own body. He is there are from his eyes, you're not sure if it's blood or if it's tears, but they are that same kind of violet glowing color. His sclera are blue. You're not sure if this is associated with the drug that you all know about or whatever is going on with him magically right now. His gums are bloody as all hell, as he's just kind of like has like this sort of half smile, dazed look in the corner as he looks up and sees you all. Those green eyes staunchly contrasting kind of this both blue and red bloodshot to his eyes. Those really pale aqua green eyes you remember from the farmhouse. Still has that kind of rat-nosed face, that kind of pointed face, very angular, but younger, but like Filch-like in Harry Potter, but younger. As he's just sort of staring out, you can clearly see there's like a mess of that magical substance that he spread across his face. He tried to go invisible with earlier. He just looked like devastating. It doesn't look like he looks like he was in a fight with something. When you look and see him in here,
Fearn is not waiting to ask him any questions. He quickly rushes up to him and grabs his arms and holds him behind his back and just grapples him if there's no resistance.
There's absolutely no resistance. When you grab him, he just sort of like goes limp a little bit, and that kind of like that grin on his face grows a little bit as he looks up at you, and he just like lets out this little bit of a shriek when you grab him, not like kind of like you knocked him out of a daze.
I'll kneel down in front of him. Right. We'll make this quick. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck do you work for? And what the fuck is going on?
You see her, Rosny? Oh, the Yorke. I could feel the darkness coming in from the window. Oh, he's gone now, though.
Those aren't the questions I asked you.
What did you say? And now he looks at you. You can see like these intensely tiny pupils in his eyes as he's just staring at you, as if he's staring through you.
I said, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck do you work for? What the fuck is going on?
Oh. You're the witch.
Yeah, I am.
Fearn lifts him up and forces him against the wall and says, "Answer the damn questions."
Are you gonna kill me?
I don't want to. I could,
Oh.
but I don't want to. It's not fucking powerful.
I'm pretty powerful too. He kind of looks around him and himself.
Yeah. Answer my questions.
Oh, you work for Dalen. Or we work for Dalen's boss. Oh, God. Oh, he like kind of like tries to lift his hand to his head while Fearn's holding onto his arm.
Who's Dalen's boss?
I don't fucking know, witch. Oh, sorry, I've had an episode, and I get migraines after an episode, and I need to rest. Can't think straight.
Well, how about
You better start thinking straight. Otherwise,
Sinking? We're all sinking. Sea witch pulling us under tentacles in the cold, and you killed.
You better start talking some sense before we feed you to the villagers. They're hungry for revenge.
Oh, they better not prick me or I might explode. You better
What are you
just let
talking
me
about?
go into the... I've had an episode and I need to rest.
Will you be able to answer the questions better if we let you rest?
I don't know. I might be dead or a potted plant tomorrow morning.
Hearing this, has Fear never heard
I laughed
of
in
anything
character. That was not Shannon, that was Saskia.
What did you say, Fran?
like hearing him say that? Is this like the ramblings of a madman, or is this something that like Fearn would have heard of, like a condition such as this?
You would have never heard of a condition like this, necessarily, from where you're from. I mean, you've heard of people having magical sicknesses that cause strange effects, but mentions of potted plants is foreign to you. Granted, like, you can see there's, like, he was alone down here, and there's a bunch of carnage here. There's magical, evocation has been happening around him.
I just look at the other two, not him, and say, "This man, he's too chaotic. It's just pure evil. I mean, he's talking gibberish, and you know, he doesn't care for his own life. Willing to
I
kill
care
others.
greatly for my own life. I just had an episode and I need to rest to not
It's making plenty of
have a
sense.
problem.
It's making plenty of sense. I know exactly what he's talking about. If we let you rest, I need you to answer me honestly.
Can you... What protections can you offer? Are you just gonna let me die at the hands of these savage villagers after I answer?
No.
This
No.
Jacquet walks in from behind and goes, No, my friend. You misunderstand our association with the villagers. We are not working for them. We are working adjacent to them. We come from Hyven, and it is through Hyven that we will be acting.
Ivan?
You know, the land of
who in
law.
Hyven?
No, you don't get to ask that question until he answers.
Well, that answer is going to determine a lot of my agreeability.
Jacques kind of walks up and like squats down next to Sass and goes, "I don't know. Should we tell him who we work for? It's supposed to be hush hush, you know. They don't like it when they throw his name around.
Could be dangerous, even more so than working with us.
You don't want to have a grievance on your head now, do you?"
Give me a deception check. With
I get
advantage. Because
Thank
Sass is helping you.
That's going to be a 28 for me, boss.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He 100% believes you. You can tell immediately because it almost has a sobering effect on him. As he just squeezes his eyes shut and like still kind of being held by fear and tries to like grab at his own head and just kind of like weirdly gets his fingertips to his forehead and he's like, ugh.
I pull his hands back down.
I don't. I don't want any trouble. I'll fucking leave. After you let me go, and I'll tell you what you want to know. I'll leave Asia. I'll go to fucking the Midlands. I'll go the Carnos Pat. I'll go to the. I'll leave if you want me to leave. I don't want to any. I don't want to be involved in that. It's too high. It's above my pay grade.
Late. You got involved, motherfucker, and now you've got to deal with us. So, let's lay it out straight. You don't know who Dalen's boss is. But what can you tell us about his boss?
I will tell you whatever you want. Just let me rest. Let me rest. I can't think straight. I'll stay in this fucking basement. I don't care. Just let me rest. My brain is gonna fucking come out of my head.
Oh, okay. Fine. You can rest. No, Fjern, do you mind? Is this are there like cellar posts down here that we could like tie him to?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So Jacques kind of like gesture to Fjern to like put him back against a post, and he's gonna tie him, letting him sit down with his arms behind the post. And he goes, "Yes, you can rest here for the night, and come morning, we'll see how talkative you are."
And you see that just you saying this to him, like, the body releases a lot of tension. He does, like, despite the sobering effects of lying to him about working for Mr. Greaves, he, like, you can tell from the second you, like, put him in a resting position where he also knows you're not going to slit his throat as soon as he closes his eyes. Like, he, like, 5 levels of exhaustion hit him all at once, and he just kind of like collapses down and is much more delirious as he's slipping out of consciousness, not in a death saving throw away, but slipping out of consciousness.
Right.
I check his stuff, make sure he doesn't have anything that could.
You can take his component pouch.
Escape. Yep, that's the plan.
Yeah, because his component pouch, you open up, is filled with random like dusts and like really dried fungus and whatnot, and just
I
like
hand it to you.
Loose amalgams of strange
I immediately
potions and medicines,
trinkets and wares. I immediately like open it and just give it a big sniff.
You don't know what's in there.
Reeks of cinnamon.
I just put it away.
Any
the
weapons,
basement
any
we're
cash?
Yeah, you can find some cash on him.
Oh, cool.
He doesn't got a ton because he was walking into a fight, but
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. I was honestly waiting for you to say no.
no, like you find like scrap change that's like at the bottom of his bag that he didn't put away. Like you literally only find 8 copper.
Okay, take it. I'm broke right now. That's fine. That's lunch.
It's true. You had a question about the basement, Jacques?
Yeah. What's the building's basement that we're in? They're the.
So this is a storage basement for the bar of the Windy Mercado.
Okay. So there's like
Barrels.
nothing. Yeah. So there's nothing close by that he can use.
No. This is very much so like just large barrels and whatnot. There's no like tools or anything down here that he would be able to.
And it looks like we
snatch.
could put the others down here as well.
Yes, there's enough space for the
All
lot
right.
you
So
have.
turning to Jacques goes, we should round up the rest that are either unconscious or unmoving, and tie them down here for questioning in the morning. We can take shifts watching. One of you two can start. And Jacques just immediately starts walking out.
You're going to bring one back, right? Right?
I'll tell the others about the plan. Okay, bye.
I think Fearn walks with him, and then like as soon as he starts walking a different direction, he just like grabs the sleeve and like, come on, we gotta finish this work so we can get back to the villagers. You don't know if the threat's gone yet. Gotta be careful. Stick together.
Mm.
While this interrogation scene has been happening outside, Bruce and Septimus, what have you been doing?
I think Bruce, after he lit the torch, and I think he would have been nearby Septimus, but he would have collected his hand, and just if there's any sort of like chest high wall or dividing wall, he probably would just sit nearby and lean up against it and kind of just go over in his head everything that just transpired.
Yeah, definitely. There's easily the little kind of fencing that's around the blacksmith's outdoor smithy that you can sit down against and catch your breath at. That also is well lit, probably of the area around you, the most well lit. As you can see, kind of sitting near you as well, or not actually, no, not near you, but you see kind of approaching Septimus. You see the blacksmith's daughter, as Septimus is kind of kneeling down, praying beside Sal. She kind of comes up, and like in the distance, you can see those archers are.
What are you doing?
Mute your mic.
You're not muted. You're not muted, Steph.
Positive.
I'll message him.
No, I like it.
It's okay. I can mute him on my end, so the stream doesn't hear him.
It's the deeper tone.
He's muted, for me at least. Anyway, Septimus, you would see this blacksmith's daughter just come up to you, and you do remember her from the meeting, and she was the most kind of
Yeah.
stalwart, and she doesn't really know what to say to you. She just kind of like walks to the other side of you and kind of kneels down, and just kind of looks at Sal, uncertain but with concern on her face. And then she looks up at you. What's your emotional state here? What are you doing?
Septimus is just kind of like on his knees, but like sitting back, like on his feet, with kind of just like his hands like on his thighs, if you know what I mean, with like his head down. And when he's like praying, his eyes are just kind of like closed. Like the mood is definitely sadness mixed with exhaustion, and I guess a little bit of uncertainty of like what's to happen next. He wouldn't even acknowledge if he hears her like sitting down next to him yet.
After a little while of silence, she would kind of look around, look past to Bruce for a moment, and then look back to you, in Septimus, and say, "Thank you. I don't know what we can do to repay you, but Do you need help carrying him?
Septimus would kind of just be quiet for a second. I need to work on him. If you have somewhere I may put him.
As I said before the fight, my shop is yours. My father's shop is yours.
Then would you mind helping me bring him?
My father would curse the day I brought a machine into our shop. This, whether what you said is true or not, this one we owe much to now. I will gladly help you. And she would slowly help you up first, and then start to lift Sal with you.
If we're heading in that direction, and we're passing Bruce. Septimus would kind of stop for a second and just turn to him and be like, I'm sorry, but I snapped earlier.
It's alright. A lot going on there.
As I'll just nod and just have it be that, then continue to move on.
She would help you carry Sal's body into the workshop, where she would move some things aside for you to lay his body against a workshop bench. There may not be much you can do right now, but you can continue working on him as he lays there, lifeless.
Yep. That would just be the raw majority of my time.
As you work on Sal, the blacksmith's daughter would not leave right away. She would just sort of watch if you start working, waiting in case you need anything. Very sentry-like, almost. Almost like Sal, truthfully, in that kind of almost wordless person, kind of just standing there waiting to help eagerly. But she would occasionally ask you small questions. How did you come upon such a machine?
Like he did tonight, he saved me from near death.
Well, I suppose we put our faith in your companion tonight and you. To help in this way. Sorry for the questions. It's just a perplexing thing to fear such a creature your whole life and then owe your life to it.
I understand that feeling all too well. If you had asked me if this is where I would be. Not even 4 years ago, I would have tried dismantling this thing myself. But I've learned a lot since then.
Well, he's safe here. My father's too sick to do anything about it, and we owe our homes to you and your companions. Anything you need to repair him.
I'm just hoping that I can. I've never seen him in this state before.
We haven't seen many people who come through who can fix things, solve problems. You're the first. So, I have faith in you. I should go let the other villagers know it's safe to come down.
Dudley's kind of just like turns his head to the side and just nods.
She hesitates, but then steps out from the workshop, and you are alone in there with Sal to work on him until you grow too tired to work on him. Outside, I imagine Fearn is gathering the unconscious bandits to tie them up in the basement.
Yeah. Fearn's just, he sees, the light on in the, blacksmith, forge, and he infers that, that's where Septimus is, and decides to give him some time. I'm assuming Jaquette is with me. I don't know if he's actually here.
Well, I guess you did walk in tandem with Jaquette, but where did Jaquette head? Was he heading outside to check on other people, or is he heading to bed, or wherever he wants to go? You're muted. Oh wait, no, you're not muted. I muted you. Let me unmute you on my end.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
You're good. Quick enough.
He's going with Fearn to round up the bandits, and make sure that they are brought to the basement and tied up.
Okay. So the two of you are collecting the unconscious bandits to bring them down and tie them up with their wild magic friend. Sass, you are taking the first watch on these bandits. As it is, by the time this is all somewhat settled down, it's probably getting close to 9 o'clock at night, so it is getting late. The blacksmith's daughter is, those of you collecting bodies would see her running up to go let the villagers know that it is safe to come down.
I think Fearn sees like the carnage that happened and starts prioritizing the I guess he wouldn't prioritize it because he knows the plan, but after the process of loading up the survivors, which I don't think is many, what is it, just one guy or two guys?
No, there was a couple because there was all of the ones Jaquette except for he did non-lethal.
So two I did non-lethal.
Mm-hmm. 2 non-lethal from Jaquette. The Dragonborn. So that's 3 there. I believe
I unlethal another one.
There's another non-lethal from Septimus. And I think.
And how many were knocked out from the gas?
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. There was the gas. Yes, there was another one from the gas. because the other one who fell to the gas was killed by Fearn. So that's 5 there. I think 5 is the total. Sass killed 6.
Jesus
Dang.
Christ.
I killed like 2 or 3.
No,
Character
Sass would have
bleed
killed.
is,
Yeah.
real.
Sass killed 6. Fearn killed 2 or 3. Because there was
The big one, one of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got a third.
Actually, I think no. Yeah, it was us 2. It was just 2. Yeah. So yeah, so you have 5, and then you killed 2. That's 7. So yeah, then Sass, you killed 5 of them, not 6.
Oh, okay.
Because you killed 3 in the midst of the fight, and then at the end, remember, you killed 2 of them were running
Yes.
away.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember.
Yeah, so I think
recall.
that Fearn would probably want to recruit Bruce after, we do our job and say, well, we should probably hide these bodies. They're not really going to know that they were possessed by shadow demons, and I don't want them to think that we're this. I mean, all's fair in violence and death, but these guys are really ripped up. Like,
Wait,
it's not a good look.
Wait, can we go back? Oh, it's fair. It's violence. Death? Sorry?
Alex,
Your
your
mic
mic is
is-
real bad right now.
We can barely hear you.
All's fair in violence and death. It was a saying my people used to say when, after the battle, cleaning things up.
Well, Alex is indisposed by his mic. We'll say so. Bruce is a bit taken aback by the, the comments of Fear about these mangled bodies. They're you're
Just fill up the hole when we fill it with the corpses. All right.
Yeah. That I can do.
Oh, he certainly can dig them with that mold earth. But anyway, generally speaking, you can start to get to work on all of these things. Sass, you're kind of down there alone with as they're slowly bringing all of the surviving bandits in there, tying them up.
And yeah, and as they're bringing them in there, I'm just kind of like doing the math and putting it all together and been like, okay.
When Jacquet brings him the last one, I'll say he like ties him up, and then as he's getting up, he looks to Sass and goes, "Maybe don't try to kill any of these."
Well, you know what the ocean says.
He just shakes his head and walks out.
Fearn, I assume, walks out with him, but because he probably helped him move the body, but he looks towards Gloveless and says, "Do you have to keep instigating her like that? You can tell that she's not all there."
Someone's got to bring her back to Earth, don't they? If she keeps living with her head in the clouds, who knows, one of us could be next on her chopping block. I mean, that bitch is scary.
She does hold great power, but I'm sure that her madness has... I don't know, I'm not sure if her madness has much to do with her own mental capabilities. It might just be whatever she let, affect her, whatever entity, spirit that she made a deal with is causing her to be like that. You have to be
let that
understanding.
entity in. No, she let that entity in. This is all on her. Don't give her a pass. That bitch is crazy and we need to be careful.
All right. If you say so. She hasn't done anything. Well, I suppose she did try to become a pirate that one time. I sort of see your point. Just try not to piss her off too much. We don't want to, get her riled up and do something that she's gonna regret.
I think she's already done that herself, he says, walking off.
Wait, hold on. I know that was a cool line and all, but what did you get from the corpses? We've got to split up the loot.
Oh, well, you see, I actually got... And he turns around and starts showing all the coins he took. But they're all mine!
As you're coolly walking away after that, immediately triggered into sharing what shiny things you found.
Look at this rock! It wasn't on a corpse, but it's cool.
Wow.
True cat. So, you begin to clean things up all around town. Conveniently, I mean, it's easy enough to quickly get some of the more gory displays of bodies out of there before kind of the villagers all start to come down with their families and children and whatnot. It was really only 3 of the bodies that really got frighteningly disfigured. One of them took the most of it. As you just kind of bring them away from town, begin to dig burial plots for them. As the night starts to roll in. Now, Sass is taking this first watch, I'm assuming, for a couple hours before taking her rest. Fionn, are you going to take the second watch?
Yeah.
And then, Jacques, I imagine you'll try to get some rest. Is there anything? I guess the question is, before these watches, is there anything particular anyone wants to do tonight?
No, but Jacques does want to be there in the morning. He's actually got an invested interest now.
Okay, great. So you'll be Jacques. I imagine you'll try to wake up as early as possible to be down there to relieve Fionn and be ready to talk to these guys.
Yeah.
I would say before my watch, I would want to check up on Septimus at some point.
Absolutely. Septimus, is there anything particular besides working on Sal that you want to do tonight, or is there stuff you want to do with Sal tonight?
Depending on how long it is until Fionn comes here, all I was going to say is that Septimus is going to continue to pray/tinker over Sal's body until he just straight up passes out on top of him.
Fionn, I imagine since you have some free time right after finishing up with Jacques showing your coppers and he shows you his nice rock, you could go right to Septimus then if you want.
Yeah, sure. I carefully, knock on the door, politely. Septimus, you in there?
Wouldn't say anything.
I'm gonna open the door now. I slowly open it. And I see you just whittling away. He was a brave machine. And I could sense the spirit of a warrior in him. It might be too late, but I will honor him with a friendly name for his sacrifice. If you wish.
Friendly name.
It is a custom among my people to acknowledge the warriors with a name of honor, to show that we respect each other. Such as The cat's name is Gloveless, and the girl's name is Sea Witch.
His name already means something. Now, please, I know you mean well, but just leave me be to him. He's all I had.
Very well, then. Perhaps another time. Try to get some sleep, will you? And I just close the door behind me.
Septimus, now alone in the shop. Give me an investigation check for a little bit of your tinkering.
15.
15. Okay. So I'll say at the very least, you can kind of like start to take notes and peer into Sal's chess piece. Oddly enough, like there's a small part of you deep down beneath all the grief and fear of possibly losing your connection to what you believe is the spiritual essence, is this excitement at being able to see inside of a chest that you were not previously able to look inside of. And not excitement's wrong, more curiosity. There's not your curiosity is peeking through the grief as you look inside, and you can start to see some of the wirings and machinery and parts within. You can see several pieces of material that have been wrenched, bent, twisted, cut in certain areas. Things that you're certain potentially mending spells could potentially fix. Your greatest fear is that the parts will be fixed, but the soul might have trouble coming back in. In what you believe this to be. You would also see a particular object roughly at the center of the chest, where maybe you even felt like the light of Sal came from, where in your spiritual mind you would see as perhaps the vestige of the soul, the heart of the machine. There is a crystal clear glass sphere that has a little opening in it, and several kind of like contraptions around it, tubes that look almost artery-like. They're even quite organic looking, but clearly made of synthetic parts. They're not sort of this like pipelines. They're more like veins coming off of this orb. All of them feeding into the orb, almost like within his chest, a rib cage of spindly parts.
Okay. Taking in all that information, but at this moment, given how late it is and surviving the fight, I don't think Septimus is capable of doing any meaningful breakthrough stuff tonight.
Absolutely. Your notes sort of start to trail off as your eyes grow heavy and you feel the bruises in your chest. Though any wounds you may have sustained, any split skin has been healed over by the cure wounds. There's still the bruised chest, the bruised ribs, the drained strength from you that is all weighing on you as you can kind of feel yourself sitting back in the stool, rubbing your eyes, struggling to continue. You realize you're not doing any meaningful work. You should rest.
Yep.
Do you stay here? Do you return to the
I'll staying by his side.
Right. Easily enough, there's enough there to do a makeshift cot to rest in the workshop for the evening. As you go to sleep. So, Septimus is going to sleep, falling asleep in his state. Bruce, Alex, I know your mic might not be working, but I know you said that Bruce is laying awake in the tavern, going over the day's events, thinking about everything that's happened. I imagine it's a little rough for him to fall asleep with everything that has happened. I imagine he even, and correct me if I'm wrong, with a thumbs down or thumbs up, I imagine he's keeping like a lit lantern in the room after the shadowy events of tonight. Yeah, little night light. Yeah. Oh, he does one of the stones. Yep. He keeps the lit stone. He goes. I imagine at a certain point everyone's working on stuff, and Bruce like very shakily climbs the ladder to go grab the lit stone from the roof that after Jacquette threw it up there, but is able to get it and use it as a little night light as he is struggling to go to sleep, thinking about the conflict, the fire, the light, the dark, dead bandits, Sal, Septimus, all of those things all at once, until eventually the exhaustion would take you to sleep. Sass.
Yes. Do you have something?
I do, but if you have something, go for it.
It's just flavor.
That's what we're here for.
As
Flavorful dice rolls. That's D&D. Go ahead.
As I'm lying, I'll be sitting against a post that does not have a bandit against it, and I'll just kind of be in a state of delirium of my own, but just muttering to myself every so often in different intonations. Here there be monsters. Here there be monsters. Here there be monsters. Just kind of over and over and over and over again.
Okay. As you're doing this, the room grows darker as there's not much lit in here. You don't really notice because of your double sight. As the flames of the corner kind of completely go out, the cinders on the walls go out, as all of the latent magic from the wild magic surge all dissipates. And it's just darkness that you see through the spectral seafoam green light of your double sight. As you feel, you kind of maybe, as you're saying, there be monsters, your hands kind of gripping at the dirty floor that is, mostly dirt along the stone walls, and you kind of are clumping it up, and then you kind of feel they start to get sloppy and wet and muddy as the room starts to fills with brackish water.
I was wondering if you were going to come see me.
You don't see the typical large eye of the anglerfish. Instead, you see a small little fish swimming in the water erratically, almost like it's one of its fins is messed up, so it's swimming kind of like in a circle. But it comes towards you, and it gets kind of close. You can see it has no eyes; they've been cut out. But on one side of the fish is your eye in the fish's socket, staring at you.
I don't understand this. Am I supposed to look into that eye, or am I supposed to give you my eye? Do I take your eye? I don't. What do you want from me?
Are you sad? Are
Yeah.
you sad?
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking sad, yeah.
Are you sad? Darling, I already fixed one. Do I need to fix these ones too? Oh, you're keeping me busy. Do I have to fix these ones too?
Yeah, that'd be nice, if you've got nothing better to do.
Oh, no, a dead man walks in Hyven, covered in water, brackish water. Darling, I can't save a whole continent for you.
Wait.
Oh, the altars in the basement were not strong enough. I don't have enough magic yet. You need to find more magic. Bring it back to the sea. You're too far from the sea.
Yes, that will. I'll get there. But who's walking in Ivan?
The voice starts to get higher and higher and higher, like
Yeah.
pitched, as it is
Yeah.
repeating the same things over and over, and the fish is kind of swimming in circles around
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
As this panicked voice, you presume to be your patron, is almost complaining about having to fix all your messes as it the water vanishes, and you see the fish just on the ground.
I scoop it up.
It starts to move a little less erratically, but it is struggling to breathe, ostensibly drowning in air.
I have a water skin. I think I do. Yeah, I'll take out a water skin and kind of just like, I need you to answer my question. I'll get back to the ocean. Yes, I'll get there. But who's walking around in Hyven?
As soon as the fresh water touches the fish, it melts away in your hands, and you're just left with your own eye in your hand. You feel an absence in your eye socket.
Can I do that?
And the eye looks up at you and blinks.
This is fucking weird. What do you want me to do? I'm lost. I'm sad. I'm a fucking murderer.
The eye just twirls around and then rolls out of your hand. As soon as it hits the ground, it turns to water.
You're no fucking help. Always riddles, always riddles. What if I don't want this anymore? What if I don't want...
You know what the sea always says, the ocean's answer to your questions. Get back to the sea. That seawater just kind of dries. When you're left alone, ground's dry as a rock again.
Maybe I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe I don't. Maybe I want to be something different. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I'll get about. Fine. I like the sea better anyway.
As you see across the room, the wild magic sorcerer sneezes and you see feathers shoot out all over the space.
Shut the fuck up.
As you get comfortable for the rest of your watch, and soon enough, Fearn would come to take your place.
Yo.
We need to go back to the ocean.
What?
We can do that, right? We can go back to the water.
Yeah, we're gonna be heading back to Hyven.
Good. That's where the water is. That's where the ocean is.
Right. Listen. You got a minute? I know it's the end of your watch and all. You probably are tired, but...
Yeah, fucking tired, fucking sad. Yeah. What?
I'm not sure how to put this. I know you've been through a lot the last couple of days, but the other people, I've just been wondering, you seem like you're a lot more impulsive nowadays.
Powerful? No, I think powerful is the word you're looking for.
That's not the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. And you're right. I am more powerful. I can do lots of things. I have lots of things that I can do, but I can do them better.
All right.
The Watcher.
I get closer to her and I stare at her straight in her eyes and I say, "Listen, I've been covering for you for a long time now. I know with whatever you're doing with the spirit, you had your reasons and there's something happening and you don't know how to control it, but if you keep acting this way, People aren't going to trust you anymore. You have to show them that you can make logical decisions. You got to stop worrying about all these small questions like, who were you? What you can do, where did your power come from? What matters is that your will is stronger than all that. You are strong.
You know what the ocean says, right? You know what the ocean says. And yes, I am strong, I am powerful.
You don't seem powerful to me right now. You seem like you're giving in.
Rest. I'm exhausted. I did a lot today. I need to sleep. Good night. I walk
Right.
off.
Think about what I said.
I'm already
Sleep
thinking.
on it.
Yep. I'll do that.
Jerk.
And Farron, you can, light a small lantern and sit down and find your spot to watch these bandits for the rest of the night. Occasionally, throughout the night, you'll notice a few of them maybe move around. A few of them kind of wake up and groan, but kind of just like hit their head against the ground and like force themselves back to sleep, understanding kind of their situation.
Bjorn is at the entrance to the door, like leaning up against the stairs, and doing his typical like sleeping while like sitting up with his regular eye closed and the white eyes still like moving around.
Imagine there's a few times in the night where like one of these bandits wakes up and just starts to like struggle and be like, what is it? They like look up and see you and just see that one eye closed, but then there's like this very wide eye kind of scanning. And I imagine even in those moments, like you open the other eye and you're able to like at least give a threatening grunt to make them go back to sleep.
Yep.
And all of them do. Most of them are pretty beat, so they're like they don't have the strength to really protest anything. But your watch goes by. And I think we'll end there tonight. Start next week in the morning for your questioning of these prisoners, and then potential departure from Billowgrass.
And we're leveling up.
And you level up.
What?
It's official now because you're all taking your long rests right now. So you're all level 6.
Level 7.
Level
Yeah,
6.
because we leveled up last
Level
time,
20.
technically.
Mike's level 4.
Yeah, level 4.
Nope,
cleric.
I know exactly why that was a mistake to say. Because you multi-classed. All right, folks, thank you for hanging out with us tonight for some combat with Shadowmancer, with some drama, some interrogation, and hopefully some rest for these fine folks will allow them to shake the dust, help their friend heal his robot buddy, set the town right, and leave to go collect their reward back in Hyven. See what comes next. But we're going to send a raid on over to some folks. So give them our love. We're going to raid. I'm going to say we're going to raid Total Party Chill. So go ahead and give them some love from us in Paradise. We will hopefully see you next week for another episode of Adrift in Aldhalor. And keep an eye out for our programming throughout the week. There's always a tiny chance that I'll stream on Wednesdays. And we should be back for the Sean and Sharon Power Hour this weekend coming up. Thank you, folks, for hanging out with us. We will see you all in the future. Thanks for hanging out with us in Paradise. Good night. Or goodbye.
Night.
You are.